Okay, fella, this is session 3 playtest. Thank
Yep.
you. So, I guess just a super recap. I think the last session you teleported to the Manticore lair.
Yep.
You managed to capture the Manticore relatively straightforward, without too much snafus.
I think you very efficiently,
Very efficiently apart.
elegantly.
I'm not sure it was elegant, but you got him. And then you went to teleport back,
Yep.
but the amulet didn't seem to work. You tried it like straight after dawn or whatever it was.
Kind of as expected.
And then you decided then to you could see a trail not too far away from you. So you followed that trail back, went past
Well, I
that.
had a look in the bottom of the thing.
Oh yeah, the bottom of
Just
the
to have a look
Cordillera.
for that weird
Yeah.
hot
It seemed to be glowing red with a pentagram at the bottom.
pentagram. Yep.
And then you saw that weird pentagram, and you thought you might have to tell someone about it. And then you saw a track leading back to the forest, which you figured you could just make out that looked like would head in the right direction.
Yep.
That led to a circle of 5 stones and a mound. And the mound seemed to have like an opening in it, so where it looked like someone had broken into it or broken out of it, and there was stuff scattered all around that looked like it was the inner contents with quite a lot of gold and stuff. You skirted around that. You saw and actually you picked up some treasure, didn't you?
Because otherwise you're making me sound like I'm some kind of coward or something like that. we were mission focused.
Mission focus, right?
We
to
are
get back,
mission focused.
Yeah.
Just
to get the Manticore back, but
yeah.
So you didn't like look at
and also slightly worried that the amulet didn't work. I'm wondering how long the cage will last.
Fair point. And so you saw this tomb that was broken in or out of, and you decided to not go in because of your mission focused nature.
Well, yeah.
Not even take a peek.
That's how we roll.
Yeah. And then you saw a fairly large black squirrel burying big bones in the ground,
Stuff, wasn't it? Yeah.
which you guess might be one of these blink squirrels, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be.
But left it alone.
You decided to leave it alone.
Mission
mission
focus.
mission focus. And then you managed to miss every single random encounter that could possibly get, even though there was like a 1 in 3 chance, and he was about 9 tests or something.
I did find some. What did I find? I found
Boots,
some
magical boots in the Manticore lair.
Yeah, that, but also some belladonna.
Oh, did you? I couldn't.
In the poo.
Ah, right. Was it belladonna? No, it was
wasn't
mushrooms.
belladonna, it was mushrooms. No, it was mushrooms. You're right.
Some like what looked like starter caps of some green mushrooms
Yeah.
growing in that were just in that they were about to grow. So you took some of that. Yeah, that's right. But I think you actually managed to not see any belladonna. Amazing. Or did you? Or did you find any? I can't remember.
I don't think I did.
Because I forgot that you were meant to check it. You were checking as you went, and you did a bunch of rolls at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just say you didn't, or you've dropped it. You then had an encounter with some giant mosquitoes, but they're a bit weak in the sense that if you hit them, they're fragile and come out of the sky. So
Yeah.
there weren't that many. I think it was only like 6. So you basically managed to knock them out of the sky before it got to you. And then I think and where we left you just rocked up outside the gates, as it were, of Humpton. Just as it was going, just about twilight, going dark. So it's nearly the end of the day.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do, hombre? Unless you got any questions, you also found some magic boots in the Manticore lair,
So and boots of stealth.
Yeah, and some arrows, I think.
Yeah, some arrows and a scroll resistance. ROE? Can't remember what that was.
Oh, there was you found a scroll, but you haven't had time to figure out what it was yet, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
I've got you to write some initials down to help me remember what it is when it's nearer the time. If you
and tons of gold and gems and stuff. So
how much gold?
Yeah.
Oh, you packed the mule up with loads of silver, didn't you?
Yeah. So there was 4,000 silver pieces, 8,000 GP, loads of gems.
Wow, 8,000 gold, eh?
Yeah.
So that's like nearly just over 1,000 each.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. So what do you want to do?
So we'll head up to the gate guards.
Okay, you go straight to the palace. Not gonna bunk down for the night and rest up.
I think we'll just go straight to it because I think for part of that as well, kind of thought process behind it, he's after it on a certain moon anyway. So I think if it happens to be now, then at least it's done.
judging by if you think it's the full moon, it's probably about 3ish days away.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 3. I can't remember, 3 or 4 days away. So it's close, but not.
I don't think I need to bunk up. The guys are all fine. Yeah, I think we'll just go straight to him. Just as well if he's got like his little spies and stuff around, then they might get a little bit grumpy that we've not gone straight to him.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
So.
Right, so you're walking down it's probably about half an hour trip because it's not that big a town, quite wide streets and whatnot, and you're about halfway down the street, and like these 3 figures step out.
Is one of them an old lady?
And one of them is an old lady. And you recognise it's Donna, and Belna, and they're like, hello, 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 what have we got here? What you also notice is that Mother has this like really large like bandage on her hand. It's about the size of like a boxing glove, all like taped up, and she's holding it like this.
Interesting. All right, Bellend, how's it going?
So I see you've been out and about working, doing some jobs for the Lord.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were looking to do. So we've done what we needed to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you remember correctly, we talked to you a little bit about what comes in a bit closer, say, about something you might be able to do. It sounds like you're heading back to the palace. Remember we talked about a little arrangement.
We're literally never going to do that, you weirdos.
Well, listen up. Hear me out. The full moon's coming up, and this guy's clearly going to change into a werewolf again. And he's going to kill some people, isn't he? So what we just want to let you know is that we know a secret way into the palace. We got some guard uniforms. We could get you in there. You could do the dirty deed, kill Lord Pauldrum, get the ring. Remember, the Lord has a ring. We want the ring of their ancestor, which has the Pauldrum crest on it, the head of a wolf, and on a ring of burnished gold, which we think is a sacred ring for lycanthrope hunters. This is a sacred amulet that we think we should be in charge of. So maybe you guys can go in there and at the very least, we think the ring is on the statue of Lord Pauldrum's father, on a chain around his neck. So if you sneak in at night, you could get that, and at least you'll be doing something good. But preferably, now we would do it ourselves, right? We'd do it ourselves.
Obs.
But we're going to need an alibi because we're clearly already in the frame for this.
Yeah, that'd be terrible for you, man. You guys, poor guys. To be honest, I think you should probably be a little bit more concerned with what's going on in Halfton.
What makes you say that?
Well, just from information. We've managed to find out.
Oh, really? What information is that?
Everything's changed over there, right?
Yeah, we've heard some rumbles.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit.
Have you investigated it?
Well, to be fair, all roads so far have led to the Master
Halfton.
Werewolf, Lord Pauldrum.
Halfton.
Oh, all roads left to Hunton.
Halfton.
That halfling village up there. Well,
I think there's lots of smoke and mirrors going on here.
Go on, tell us more. The mother starts piping up. Don't listen to that awful little man. He's trying to get you to kill me already.
That awful little man?
He points at the dwarf.
Oh, right.
He's trying to get you to kill me, you brute.
Oh, of course. I forgot about the cut of the hand with the knife. Yeah.
And like I say, she's now got this really large bandage on her hand, about the size of like a.
And she's singing Buffalo Soldier.
About the size of almost like a boxing glove. It's like really like overdone.
Well, we all need to be careful that there aren't lots of werewolves around.
And to be fair, in fairness, we've also been thinking about this. We're not completely convinced this is a valid test. We think you might have tricked us.
Me? I would never do such a thing.
No, tell us what you know about.
So everything's changed over there.
Yeah.
Suddenly you've got a halfling town suddenly becoming very militant
Yeah, a bit odd. I'll give you that.
Going on.
That's true.
There's various bits and pieces going on there. So if anything, we'll sort this thing out. Is this thing that we went to sort out could be part of the problem that was happening previously.
Right. Like this mission you've been on.
Yeah.
Which is what exactly?
No, I don't have to tell you anything.
Right. Okay.
And although I think you'll probably find that the issue in Halfton is probably a little bit more serious.
See, I can't ever think you want us out of the frame because Lord Pauldron always has these full moon hunts. Pretty suspicious, don't you think? Hunting by full moon in like a secluded garden.
What? So you can see? As a human, we don't have infravision. You know that, right?
Well, you can't see. He's basically got his walled garden like 2 days or so down south, and it's only him and his men that go down there. Who knows what happens?
Do his men come back?
Well, maybe they're werewolves too, eh?
Yeah, maybe everyone's a werewolf that goes out on a full moon.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the secret, right? Once you join the clan, you join the clan.
Oh, yeah, maybe, man, maybe. But also, you guys going to Halfton, there's your alibi.
What, you think
you weren't even around?
Ooh, what, you're gonna...
Who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Well, what would really help us, and might actually help you scope it out, is you could go get the ring, right?
Could do, but we've got other things to do.
Well, all right. Well, okay. Well, maybe we'll take a little peek at Halfton, but we have to. We need a bit more than this because otherwise we're giving up our main lead right at the key time. We're planning to like stay here and catch Pauldron in the act. We've been planning it for a while. So unless you kill him, we're gonna have to scope around here. Unless you give us a really good reason to.
Right. You guys stay here and have a look around then.
Okay. Well, can't you give us a bit of a hint of why?
Just did. We're all good. I think.
What? Just because it's changed a bit. Is that it? All right. Okay. Well, I'm not sure we're going to get much more out of you guys, but think about it. We know a way in. When we go in that throne room, come see us.
Think about how you managed to find out how to get no way in.
You wondering how we know?
I'd be worried that stuff has been planted for you.
You think it's a trap?
Well.
All right. Well, we're staying at the inn, the Pauldron's Arms. Well, if you need us, we'll leave a message at the bar with Waldo and or with Sally, and we'll be there.
Cool.
Mother gives you a really filthy look as you guys as you leave, holding your arm like this. So, I presume you're going to keep going?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I quite like those guys, but they are fairly nuts.
All right, so you get to the gate. Guard's there.
Oh, we did have a password before, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, or you could just ask for. You could ask for Clarence.
Yeah.
Or rather, was it? Oh, you could use it.
Mysterious stranger, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Well, that's Carl Shung's story. You like somehow get them to go fetch the Chamberlain.
Yeah.
And he comes rushing down. Have you got it? Have you got the beast?
It's on the mule, dude.
So presumably you have it like covered or something, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably should.
I was like, okay, so
especially because it's quite windy as well.
Yeah.
We'll warn him before it's a bit windy.
Yeah. Okay, so it's quick. Oh, great! This is brilliant. Quick! Let's go to the throne room now. Pauldron's like just having a little bite of supper. He'll be delighted. So presumably you all like barrel in.
Yep.
Okay. So you get to the throne room. You got Daphne the mule, and then I presume what? What are you going to do? You presumably just pull the cover off. Okay. Polder's like, yes, I did it! I did it! So I was dancing around, I did it! Polder the Great! And then like all the guards start shouting, Polder the Great! Polder the Great! Polder the Great! And while this is going on, the Chamberlain like basically gives you each like this really heavy bag of platinum worth about 5,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, as he's saying, I've done it, you're like kind of like starting to be escorted out. I don't know if you want to do anything or.
No, I think this was always going to be the way, wasn't it? And stuff. So
not one word of thanks.
No, I didn't expect any, anyways. Was there? Just if we stop for a second before we were completely ushered out.
Yeah.
Was there? I'm trying to remember if. There wasn't any talk of giving us the sword, was there, if we were successful? I can't remember.
No.
I don't think.
But I think the thing was that, in theory, the items were any items that you had were for you could keep.
Mm-hmm. I should have kept hold of the dart.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, you should have returned the amulet, but no one's asked.
Well, I was going to speak to him actually about that.
No one's asked for it, but if you bring it up, I guess he might want it back.
You can have it back. Yeah, there wasn't. Sorry, man. I can't. I can't. There wasn't any talk about giving the sword or anything, was there?
Not the Vormstort.
Yeah.
No. It was you. I think it was gold plus. You can keep anything that you've been given already.
Yeah. Okay, so we will kind of just speak to each other and say, dude, we would have been back a lot quicker, but your crappy amulet didn't work at all.
Oh, that's a bit weird. I tested it. But I was a little bit concerned it might have a range limit, but I tested it. I tested outside the gates, and it took me straight to the throne room.
Amazing.
Oh.
Why wouldn't it work over a few more 100 miles?
No, can I have it back?
Nope.
What do you mean I can't have it back?
We threw it away because it was rubbish.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is it back in the beast's lair?
Yeah, there was some weird, like really, really hot, like almost like a summoning circle thing at the bottom of the cold area.
Do it on the summoning circle?
Yeah.
Well,
were we not supposed to?
Well, no, you meant to use it to come back.
Well, I mean, but it didn't work to get us back. So
you do it right,
I think you'll understand that we were slightly grumpy that we then had to make a really long journey back.
Well, it's rather rash just to throw it away.
Well, it didn't work.
Was it Eye of the Tiger? Rubbish!
Rubbish key!
Oh, right, okay, well, I might have to send some men to go collect that.
Because it should have brought us back to the throne room, right?
Yeah. You should push it any time of the day and you appear in the throne room.
Well, you didn't say any time of day, you said...
Well, I just didn't want you turning up any time of day. Anyway, you definitely don't have it on you?
No, not at all. We thought about it, but then we just thought if it doesn't work there's no point in us carrying it back. We had enough to carry back with the crazy big magical and stuff, and didn't want anything to weigh us down so that we can get back.
You seem to have a lot of treasure. What did we discuss about treasure recovered? Isn't that probably the crown?
Nope. Anything that we found there, we were entitled to, especially considering, although we didn't expect any, there's actually not been any recognition of our part in this. I mean, obviously, the Lord is the one that's done none of the hard work.
Huh?
We're the ones that went out and risked ourselves for it. And also, weirdly and interestingly, there was another adventuring party that looked like it had been sent there as well.
That's a bit curious.
Very curious.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of guys who came and talked to us a little bit about stuff, but
who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, well, maybe we should have given us some magic items to help them. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess they must have softened this manticore up for you. I mean, beast up for you. All right. Well. Okay. Well. So what are your plans now? He's asked you, the Chamberlain.
Well, originally we were off to Halfton. I think there is a little bit of a road that stuff is going on there, so I'm not sure if you guys know anything
No, but
That could be helpful for us.
they're a valued trading partner. They've always like kept the borders safe.
So they're trading now, though.
Yeah, they've become a little stricter recently, but other than that, last few years. But I guess they've been worried about the Copper Gate. The goblins and whatnot. Always stirring trouble in that region. So we're partly protected by the river, but they're not. So got to be a bit more careful. Anyway, so we said, "Oh well, I'm going back to celebrate in the palace." And so,
you guys have done really well.
oh, the Lord's so pleased with himself.
Yeah.
He's like absolutely chuffed. He really has made this really work out. Right, unless there's anything else he's gonna.
No, I don't think so. I think.
So by the time this happens, it's probably like a good few hours later and whatnot. So I guess, are you guys gonna
Head back to the pub, I reckon.
Right.
If that's all right.
Yep. So I don't think you took much damage, but you got a few curing spells and whatnot, don't you?
I don't think we took any.
Take any hits at all?
No.
Yeah, slam dunked it. No random encounters to drain you down.
Well, that was it, I think. That was it for that.
So unless you're going to change any your spells, I mean, do you want to speak to anyone or?
I mean, we'll just have a chat with Weldo,
Okay.
but not.
Like Sally is like pottering around.
Yeah, Sally used to.
Yep.
She seems fairly grumpy at best at times.
Yep.
Did
You might have some belladonna though. You could get if you wanted.
We didn't get any, did we?
No, you didn't. Well, let's say you either didn't find it or you now lost it for some reason if you can't remember.
Yeah. Did you get those mushrooms though?
Yeah, well, you could show them to her as well.
Yeah. So I think we'll have a chat with Waldo. We will just mention Bellend, his mum, and Kebab. Just see if he knows anything about them. I think we didn't speak to him about them beforehand, so just kind of just inquiring, just a thing they just saying there's.
Yeah, well, he still says they've been lurking around town for a couple of weeks, and causing a bit of like consternation, making a few unwise accusations, and so they've kind of almost been hunkered down in the inn ever since, because whenever they go out, if not careful, the town watch going to start shadowing them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess as much.
They're kind of not popular to be associated with. But they pay their bills.
Oh, excuse me.
And Quink doesn't seem to mind them, so that's always a good sign. Quink the parrot.
Oh, the parrot. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
Who seems at the moment has a little tankard of ale. He's taking a little sip.
Nice.
He seems to be kind of actually a little bit tipsy.
Oh God.
He seems to quite enjoy his ale. Oh, I should have said. You also noticed that Mother did have some belladonna as well, because now you're tuned into it. She has a few pouches and stuff, so you notice that Mother had a bunch of belladonna on her and some other like pouches that obviously you can't see inside of, but this was sort of like almost in a belt loop.
And we'll show the mushrooms to Sally.
Okay. Are you going to ask about belladonna first, or are you just going to go straight for mushrooms? Up to you. I don't.
What? How do you mean it?
I thought you were gonna try buy some belladonna from Sally.
No,
she's
I
a
was trying to buy
herbalist.
some for her. I thought.
Oh.
That was I thought that was what she wanted.
Did she ask you? Did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't find it because that was the whole thing of.
Well, I guess she might have some now,
Some.
because she's a herbalist. Did she
It was
ask?
kind of. I think it was almost like a side quest thing that I asked if she would just to kind of butter her up and see if.
Okay, I think she just I thought she just offered herself as a guide, but maybe she might be interested in that, I guess. But I guess you could also see if she's got any. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, we probably should if we're looking to do thing now. Yeah, we will just see if she's got any.
Okay, well, she says she does have some dried stuff that she
Yeah.
could give you. It's not as potent as the fresh, but
Yeah.
mix it with alcohol and probably do the job.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, but she does warn you it's very toxic.
Okay.
And she's a bit curious why you want it, but she's happy to. She says, I know, she says basically I quite often supply it to the palace. They seem to get they use it because if you remember correctly, when you were in the throne room, the statues had wreaths around their necks, which had sort of like belladonna, blackberries,
Yeah.
berries that are black, and some green mushrooms.
Are they the same mushrooms that I picked up?
They're-
I can't remember.
Well,
Sorry.
it's a bit hard to tell because yours are like little buds.
Yeah.
But they are basically green, which is kind of a
Okay.
bit, almost like, let's just say it's almost like a luminous green. It looks quite a similar shade of green.
Okay.
So it could be.
Well, we'll ask her about the mushrooms as well.
Okay, you show us. Oh, where do you get these?
Just on the road back from
Green Coombe Forest.
Green Coombe Forest.
Wow, you managed to find some. You managed to find some stone-cap mushrooms. Wow,
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
they only you got them at an early stage though. Mind if you, what do you want for them?
Well, what are they for though?
Well, they're medicinal. They also normally try to get some for the palace. The thing is, they only sprout on or just before a full moon.
Oh yeah.
So I was planning to go out soon to get some, but if you give me these, you'll save me a trip. I can keep them under I can basically grow them from here because you've even got them in some manure.
No.
In fact, it looks suspiciously well like dragon droppings to me.
Dragon droppings. Gracious, that's exciting.
This stuff grows really well in like really rich kind of manure.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, this is dragon scat.
So what are you willing to give us for it?
Well, 5 gold piece is per bud, so
Yeah.
it's probably about 25 gold.
Yeah, we can live with that. And
Okay, she looks very happy with that.
why would there be dragon scat though? Any ideas?
Well, there is a dragon in the Green Coombe Forest.
Oh, is there? Everyone told us this, I don't think. What type of dragon?
Well, this is it. When I go to get this, I normally go in the woods to get these mushrooms from around their kind of like near their glade they hang around in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to be quite careful because obviously they're quite young, I guess, for dragons. But I normally sneak in there and get it from their droppings. It's quite dangerous. I wouldn't recommend to go there.
Yeah.
But I don't suppose you're familiar with there's like a like 5 standing stones.
Yeah, we're aware of them. Yeah.
So I think they're
What was that? Remind me though? What was the story behind the 5 standing stone place?
well, it just seems to be I don't know. It's got associated with bad luck, I think.
Yeah.
There's 5 stones there, and they mark 5 different roads or paths through the woods, and what the dragons tend to be. I think on the east branch. That's where I know I follow that down and then go into the woods and then sort of try to ghost around to them. So the dragon tends to be there, sleeping most of the time, if not bickering with itself.
And what colour is it?
Red and green.
Red and green.
Yeah, one head's red and one head's green. Don't you know anything about this?
No, I don't know anything about this.
This is why I don't never quite sure if I say dragon or dragons.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, they're
Yeah, and how big is it?
Oh, I suppose its body is probably the size of 2 or 3 cows.
Okay.
I mean, it's not been. I mean, it's not been in the forest that long, as far as I can tell. I mean, rumors started circulating maybe a few decades ago.
Yep.
So I don't know where it came from, but it's obviously must have just colonised these parts of the forest.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's best steered away from, frankly.
Sounds it, man. To be honest. Sorry for the rustling.
So yeah, I think probably about. I think first rumours. I mean, my grandpa told me about it. First told me about it. So, and he said before there wasn't a dragon in the forest before when he was a lad. So, you know, I reckon probably 30, 40 years ago, something like that.
Wow. And just the one.
Well, 1/2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just one. But yeah.
And what we've given you, or what we sold to you, that'll keep the castle or the lord happy.
Oh, it'd be perfect. I'll deliver it up after they sprout. That's about right for whatever they use it for.
And aside from kind of medicinal purposes, what else can you use it for?
Well, well, to some extent, that's a secret of the trade. I don't know, you know.
Well, we're not going to take that away from you. Just intrigued to know what else it could be used for.
Well, tell you what, if you can somehow find it in your power to get me to be the apprentice to the Chamberlain, if you can rig that, you seem to have connections in the palace, then I'll tell you my secret. Oh, that or a shed load of money.
25 gold pieces?
No.
How much would it take? We're not looking to take your business because none of us are herbalists.
She looks at it. Are you serious? Like, if I...
I'm just intrigued to see why, because when we were there, we saw, because I think you were aware we went on a mission for the Duke, Lord, and in his throne room there's 2 statues of his mother and his father. And I think the belladonna and the other bits and pieces that you take there are used as garlands around the neck. So we're just wondering if there's anything else that kind of comes across, because clearly they're not using them for medicinal purposes, whether it's to ward off stuff or anything like that at all.
I guess I could tell you 3 facts about it. Three rumoured properties, but each one will cost you 2,000 gold.
Oh wow. No, I think we're right.
All right. All right, 1,000 per secret.
No, I think we're okay.
All right. Well, that's my final offer.
Thank you, though.
It's quite interesting, though. Okay, so she leaves it there. She's like, if you want to know, I know three properties.
All your money.
Well, what did you get? You got.
To be fair, how much was in the bags, though? Did you say it was about 5 grand each?
5,000 gold in platinum.
Each?
Mm-hmm.
Because actually we probably could.
You can afford it, but it does seem a lot for information.
Yeah, it does seem an awful lot for
but,
information.
You know, you also
and
got
she
some.
is quite grumpy.
You did also get quite a lot from the.
We did, but she's also quite grumpy.
I guess you could pay for one secret and see if that sounds like they're worth it.
I'm kind of quasi-tempted for that, actually, just because we did.
She did knock it to 1,000 per secret.
Yeah. Go on then. We'll take one secret.
Okay, so she leans forward and says, "If you take the stone cap mushrooms. It's in their name. Mix it with alcohol, strong alcohol, and it will give the person the illusion of being turned to stone. The skin will go grey, and they will basically go into like a stasis, and they will appear to be dead. And she said, I can't really turn people to stone my mind, but I can turn them to stone. Takes about 4 hours to work, and lasts about 4 hours unless you keep it topped up.
And how? So if you, in regard to like the amount that you take there, how long would that last?
You mean how long could you keep someone going?
Yeah.
Well, again, if someone was already turned to stone, then you wouldn't have to keep. You could keep just. It wouldn't take very much to keep it going, if you know what I mean. Because it'll wear off. But if you had like a dilute solution or something, you could probably keep the property going for a while, and the person could be kept in stasis for almost indefinitely. I suppose. I don't know why you'd want to do that.
Okay. Interesting.
And she looks very pleased. Are you paying her in silver?
Copper.
I think you left the copper behind. What about? Are you interested in the second fact?
I think so. Yeah. Why not?
Belladonna reverses the property. So if you mix belladonna with
against stone cap. Okay. Yeah.
With alcohol, you can pretty much cancel the property.
Okay.
But obviously, don't overdo it, otherwise you'll kill the person.
It's toxic kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you'd have to be careful. I mean, what you can probably do is like what I've done in the past is just rub either the berries or the leaf on the lip, or just put a little bit, and then when it starts to wear off, just wipe the rest away.
Okay.
And this is, she sort of says she basically finds she runs a little bit of a racket where she like has pretended to turn people to stone and then like cures them.
Yeah.
And she does this with her mind, and people are like kind of like
scared of her, and
a little bit.
She can
extort money,
but
obviously, yeah. So she's very pleased with her third bundle.
Yeah.
And she says, do you want to know the last one?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, she says, stone-cap mushrooms, they sprout at midnight. On a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
And if taken in the correct quantities, in a dilute solution, will forestall the property of turning someone into a lycanthrope.
Ooh.
That's the rumour. So if you're
rumour or gospel?
Well, I've never met a lycanthrope, so I wouldn't know. But apparently, if you were to find a lycanthrope and you wanted to like capture them, you could like. It's rumoured that if you treat them with this, they won't turn to stone, but they will. It will basically stop them transitioning from one state into the other.
Right. And that has to be ingested, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally what I do is I get the mushrooms in a strong alcohol because that extracts what's doing the chemical that's doing the active ingredient from the mushrooms.
Yeah.
But I think chewing it I would think suffice, but it's a little harder to control.
Yeah.
Different strength. So.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you very much. That was worth the 2,000 gold that we gave you.
3. Anyway, she seems very pleased. She's like thinking like maybe you hear her muttering that maybe she doesn't need to become the apprentice anymore. But she does mention she's still kind of interested in the role. But don't tell the chamberlain you've passed this information on.
Right. Yep.
And like obviously says don't tell anyone else because this is. So what are the 3 properties that you've managed to winkle out of her?
Turns people to stone when kind of mixed with alcohol or kind of...
Or at least gives the illusion.
Gives the illusion,
basically, their skin goes grey, and they look like they're stone, and it basically puts them into a state of like stasis.
Stasis and the thing there. Belladonna cancels it, if applied. Again, in kind of quasi the same way. And then it may forestall the change lycanthropy. So either from one form to another.
Yeah.
If ingested.
So yeah, if you want to stop something or stop yourself transitioning into a werewolf or something,
yeah,
you could take a solution to this, and this will keep you from transitioning.
Interesting. Okay.
What are your thoughts? I imagine you might have if you had a group of people to talk to you. I'm going to play. I won't tell you anything specific, but I'm just wondering. Just interested in your thought process now, because obviously you would probably talk about this with a group, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess kind of stepping away from that just for a second. So certainly suspicious now, knowing kind of a few more of the properties that they're around, both the mother and the father, with everything that happened prior to all of that stuff. Anyway, so you know, for the way that the Duke kind of got, or the Lord or whatever he is, got into his position was after a lot of kind of weird family accidents.
There were some family accidents. The mother and father sort of disappeared, and also
and his sisters got eaten, gobbled up by something, or just didn't come back.
Didn't come back from the woods, right?
With the chance, they
went into
the Magnificent.
They went with the former magician into the woods about 4 years ago, and he came back without them.
Yeah.
And then
weird.
They were his older twin sisters. They would have been the natural heirs, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that kind of, from that perspective, that does seem weird that they are kind of covered in these garlands that kind of could be keeping that stuff kind of going.
What, you mean the statues in the palace?
Yeah, in the throne room.
So you're suspicious about the statues because they got the mushrooms and the belladonna on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although, I mean, obviously, I guess the belladonna would go against this stuff, but that's only if it's diluted and stuff there. So having the mushrooms there might be a thing where they've been coated in stuff or something. Depending on who puts the garlands and stuff up on the because
the statues are fenced off, right?
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, which is what you said before.
I mean, I guess could Lord Pauldron be taking the mushrooms? Because the other two are pretty. The Lycan gang seem to pretty convinced he's a werewolf, right?
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a div, though. I think this is kind of a setup of trying to make it out that it's someone else that's doing something. So whether Clavence is still around and kind of running stuff from behind and stuff there, and or whether it's the Chamberlain wears a mask that he never takes off and stuff there. So is that just Clavence with a really bad disguise in his eye? Clavence.
He's but ugly, remember? That's why you think it is.
Well, yeah.
And I mean, I guess Clavence, if he's still around, could be in cahoots with the Lord, I guess.
Could be. Or it could be that this Lord didn't seem that intelligent.
Yeah, he seemed very focused on his role in getting the Manticore, right?
Yeah, for real. So he kind of
is he just selfish, or is he actually like?
Is he selfish? Is he just so unwitting and kind of
you to manipulate?
Yeah, okay. He's kind of one of those kind of classic, just kind of almost like a patsy in position that thinks he's doing lots of stuff, and actually he's almost like Grima Wormtongue and King Theoden. So are there those things going on in the background? Also, I guess some of the information's come from the Manticore. So whether that is anything kind of gospelly.
What did the Manticore tell you?
So there was the it being compelled by the werewolf that had taken over Halfton.
Oh yeah, so he said Aldwin Sixtoes is a werewolf and he's compelled by
me to do various bits and pieces. So whether that's then
he says he has to. He said just because obviously it's only you trying to remember it rather than the whole team of people that can talk. But I think he says that he's compelled to dispose of the bodies in the human lands.
Right. Yes, that was it, to try and sow more discord and other bits and pieces there.
So he claims that Aldrin's a werewolf.
Yeah. So whether then it's.
I think he said he had a ring as well that he was using to do that.
Oh, he might have, mightn't he? Don't remember that, but.
I don't think you asked anything more about. I don't think you asked any more questions about the ring, but now obviously he's in possession of the Lord. So it's a bit late. You can't ask that. You can't
no.
ask him now. Anyway,
Yeah,
go on.
no, that's fine. So whether then this is all, whether there's designs now to try and disrupt the human land if Six Toes has managed to take over Halfton.
If the Manticore isn't lying or something, of course.
Yeah, if the Manticore isn't lying, but I mean,
it is weird.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on over in Halfton. I think we can all probably agree on that. So whether then it's a thing just to kind of cause a lot of unsettlement, and disruption. So whether
and also your famous arch nemesis, the two-headed black dragon, two-headed dragons back in the mix,
which is always a good thing. Loving that.
And so Sally said she normally gets these mushrooms essentially from the dragon's scat.
From the scat from them
because they're in the forest.
Yeah.
And they don't sound like they're massive. It sounds like a relatively young.
Yeah.
But it is weird. They're also the redneck. Sorry, red and green.
Yeah.
Colours. The heads.
Yeah. But then there are some slightly odd beasties. I mean, non-standard beasties that I think you've introduced.
I mean, I guess you could ask. I don't know if you want to ask Sally before she goes anything more about this dragon. I don't know if you want, because that's what you've learned so far. It's got a red and green neck and head
that squabble quite a lot.
Yes.
I mean, I guess we know it's east from the Five Stones.
Yep.
It's been there for 30, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
It's not that. It sounds like it's quite young.
Mm-hmm. Certainly by volume, it doesn't sound very big.
Yeah.
I mean, big enough to be a threat.
Anything though, because it could just be a smaller dragon type. It's
true. It seems unusual that it has a red and green neck.
Yeah, for real. I guess has she seen it kind of using any breath weapons or anything like that at all, or it's never got that angry? Has she seen it attack anything?
Basically, she's like
just crept around and
normally if it's asleep or something, but
yeah. And what, lives in a cave, I guess, or
well, I think she seemed to think it lived in a clearing, like in the forest.
Yeah. I'm missing something. I feel like I'm only thing there.
No, have a think. If you've got, I'll let you, because like I said, there's only one of you.
Yeah.
If you've got a question about it later, we can throw it back as a, what do they say, retro con it, or it is. I don't know what that means, retcon. Retro, I don't know what the con is. Conference? Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. Retcon it back and, ask any more questions. Of a general nature. Obviously, if you find some like specific information, it doesn't make sense that you would have asked about that specific information. Okay, so
something I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
I think it's difficult sometimes to. I think we've muttered about this when it's been just one person playing and stuff where stuff I'm sure seems obvious to everybody else.
Well, I don't know. You shouldn't beat yourself up. I think you're right. You could have a bit of tunnel vision on it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying if there is anything you want to ask about it. But so far that's what you know.
So yeah. So I think whether. I think have we got a kind of classic tale of a fairly I don't know, slightly ignorant lord that kind of doesn't see stuff that's happening around just because stuff like that does happen when there's lots of power and money involved.
Mm-hmm.
So these things kind of happen. So it wouldn't be anything that would necessarily be unusual to happen to kind of families like that, because people are looking to try and get to be the one that inherits or the one that is in power.
Yeah.
Or is he some kind of masterstroke genius that's arranging these things?
He's either a master villain doing all this stuff, or he's just somehow bumbled his way into this position. It's just like weird things happen to weird people.
Yeah.
Or he's been manipulated.
Yeah.
Or and he's just like he just likes like being a big hunter.
Yeah.
And basically
to the
they can be
extent
manipulated.
that he then doesn't care how he's then perceived. So could it then be that they're looking to try and do some uprising thing or something and kind of get stuff agitated to start and actually does that then mean that the I mean he could also be a werewolf. I kind of feel that he's not.
I mean, the other thing is you do get the impression that he doesn't enjoy his like duties as a lord.
Yeah.
So that's for certain. But yeah, I guess someone could be trying to like undermine his position while he's like busy doing his normal guff, or maybe he's a bad villain.
Oh, maybe, man, maybe.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of. So then I guess. So I might ask. Just while we're still at the pub and stuff, I might ask Weldo about the.
Okay, so so as you finish talking to Sally, she takes her apron off, hands it to Weldo, and says, "I quit."
Oh dear.
And she goes like this to you guys. Walks out the bar.
Yeah, great, thanks.
So what do you want to talk to Weldo about? Weldo's like holding this apron.
Yeah.
And the parrot like gradually goes from like this, like I guess greenish colour to like just kind of drops like this, like kind of going black.
Yeah. Is it busy in there?
Not very busy.
No.
But Weldo like Elsie's looking at it like this. What just happened there?
Yeah.
But as I say, his parrot is like gradually changing from a kind of pleasant green to slightly.
So I kind of feel quite responsible for that.
Yeah, I guess if it was busy, it'd be more pissed off, maybe.
Love it. I hadn't thought of that at all. Normally, most people say if they win the lottery, they stay working.
Well, not Sally by the sounds of it.
Absolutely.
You didn't get the impression she loved her job.
No, she didn't really. So we'll kind of just say, sorry about that. We got some information. We gave her some money. She's obviously decided that's enough for her to no longer be under your employ. If you do need any help, we can help you tonight.
Okay.
Once you look for a new barmaid or bar person.
Right. Well. Okay. So he seems to recover fairly quickly from this. He says, "Well, she wasn't exactly the greatest employee in the world," and the parrot seems to sort of start going back to a more kind of pleasant bluish colour. Maybe not quite as bright and frilly as before, but you can get the thing. He doesn't seem to be that pissed off. He's obviously a little bit irritated, but he has to find a new employee. But I guess he probably is not thinking it's that difficult.
So I think we will ask him about the 5 standing stone things. See if
so
he knows anything more about that.
All right, let me have a roll. Nah, he said, I don't have any dealings with that place. That's the Green Coombe Forest is just a place of bad fortune. Only lunatics would go in there.
Yeah. And any rumours of like particularly bad beasties in there or anything like that?
What, in the forest?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's obviously full of horrible creatures. Like I say, I know that everyone knows there's like goblins and like horrible
Kind
greenskins.
like north,
in the hills. So obviously stuff's always coming out, and like Hafton always takes the brunt of it, but has always always had a sort of amateur militia to deal with it. So it's always kind of most of the time things come out, but they once they come out into the open spaces, they then tend to go back because I don't know, that's where they tend to hang out. But always paranoid. One day there'll be a big push. If they got like a good leader behind them all, they might get organised and probably swing out to Hafton first. Would be the guess, because getting across the river is awkward.
Yeah. Fair enough. Do you know anything about blink squirrels?
Well, only what I heard from when you were talking to Popo, that he seemed to be interested in my. I mean, well, let's roll. See if he has it. Yeah, I mean, it sounds very fanciful to me.
Yeah.
No. No idea.
Okay. And do you know, like anyone in town that might know, aside from at the palace, who might know about like the 5 Stone place or anything, kind of any?
I would have thought that the Chamberlain would be the best man for you. I would have thought.
Yeah,
he seems
there's no kind of scholars or anything in the.
It's quite a small town, but let's have a think. Let's see if. I mean, it's obviously getting to like 9 o'clock at night.
Oh no,
now.
yeah, not now, but like
okay.
a thing. So.
Okay. Let me have a think. Okay, he says, well, my only other person I think who looks like they've like been around a bit is probably I don't know if you met them. There's like a group of 3 people, and they have like an old lady with them who seems.
Yeah.
She seems to have taken a nasty nick to her hand the other day.
Poor thing. That sounds painful.
It sounded like it was a bit of a terrible accident. The Bella seemed to have like accidentally nicked her with a knife while she was reaching across for some bread in the morning.
Oh gosh.
And Bella took it very badly. He seemed to think it was done on purpose.
Oh gosh, that seems...
Something about a silver knife, and why would they be reaching for a bit of bread with a silver knife? And it was all a big hullabaloo. But to be fair, they had been into the forest.
Yeah, recently, or do you know?
Well, I heard them talking about it, so I don't know when they went in, but they've definitely been in there. I kind of got the impression that I kind of almost got the impression either Sally was guiding them or they were following Sally, because something about why would she be going in there in the like near a full moon and stuff. But they seemed to settle their differences. There was a bit of, I heard them talking, and then it seemed to get glossed over.
Resolved.
So
okay.
But they seem like they've been around a bit. So they'd be my second best tip.
Yeah.
But of course, any sensible person wouldn't go anywhere near that place.
No, absolutely. Why would you want to? Seems crazy.
Well, you go to covered in mud and like branches and twigs in your hair. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So.
Bed?
I think so.
What's the plan for the morning, do you think? Maybe. If you are going to bed, that is.
Belland and Kebab are they staying at this pub?
Apparently, that's what they said. Or at least if you told Weldo to give him a message, they would get in contact with you. And he's implied that they were hunkered down somewhere. So you kind of maybe think this pub. I guess Weldo might tell you if you asked him. I don't know whether he would treat it as confidential. I don't know whether his guest list is confidential or not.
Well, I mean, we chatted to him about them before, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they're getting told off quite a lot." And,
but he didn't say there was. But he might. All I'm saying is he might not be willing to say he's at his pub. I mean, you could ask basically, and find out whether he's.
Yeah, well, I think we'll ask him just to see if he's up for it.
Well, I don't know if I should really be saying who's staying in the pub. I don't think you would like me to say if you were staying here. Just just a bit of a house rule, really.
That's fine, absolutely fine. I totally understand. If you do happen to see them, you can just pass a message on that. For chatting about stuff.
I can do that. Yeah, no problem. I can leave it. I'll take it round to their room later. That's right.
So I guess is there? I can't. And please excuse me. I think they're just going back to the lotion, the invisibility lotion. That was that. Did we use all of that?
I think you did, because you put it on both of you as well. Yeah. It was only really enough. I mean, I don't think you would have been. Well, I mean, I don't think you would have risked not being invisible, right?
No, absolutely.
And I'm guessing covering your body with it, you probably
Cool. Okay. So I guess just for kind of thought process, as I say, just because we're just kind of solo playing and stuff. So, so lots of interesting stuff from the stone-cap mushrooms,
Mm-hmm.
belladonna, statues in the
Throne
room and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that the that the Chamberlain tried the amulet within the confines or just outside the confines of the city, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we still have the amulet because we lied.
Yep.
So we could always kind of teleport back in there.
You could try it. Yeah.
Just to try and see if there's anything.
So you could try you could try see if it works. You could also possibly try get a hold of Belladonna and see if you could get in there secret way.
Well, I think absolutely.
If that isn't trapped or bugged or whatever.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like that's just maybe.
Yeah.
They don't. They think that they're being really cunning, but they're not being really cunning. So I kind of feel that
they seem to be clocked. They seem to be like, that's true.
It's a thing, and also I think, but I kind of get the feeling that the
you'd also have to find them now as well.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
But you could probably
just go to their room.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's true.
And I guess so. I kind of for that, although he seems like a bit of a pompous ass, and you kind of whether you're kind of deliberately playing the kind of the class thing there, just to wind me up.
It's the Lord.
What I wouldn't want to do is give them an opportunity to go and potentially kill someone who I think is probably, aside from being a dick, innocent of
maybe
kind of lycanthropy.
I guess you could sleep on it and do it the next day, see if you can find any more information. Because you're thinking about going in tonight, are you?
No, I think it probably would be worth just trying to find.
Because I guess tonight they've got the.
They've just got the manticore,
so they're probably not
going to be partying quite a lot.
Might late at night, they might be having where they're going to keep it for now, possibly in that room. So they might have guards in there. So it's probably not the best night.
Well, that's why I was asking about the lotion to see if there was any chance of invisibility.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Crafty.
I think if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the thief that goes in anyways, just to try.
Well, yeah.
Thing, but I think probably that can wait just to kind of see if there's anything, because we could always ask if we can see the Chamberlain again to see if he knows anything.
Yep.
About various bits and pieces, kind of on the morrow.
Yep.
So yeah, I think we'll sleep on it.
Okay, let's just pause it just there for a sec. Okay. So you guys are about to. I don't know, unless there's anything else that's occurred to you.
Can I? Yeah, sorry.
Sure.
Can I ask a retcon question?
Sure.
Just of Sally.
Oh yeah.
Who is it that's buying all of this stuff from her at the palace? Or
okay.
Or the kind of royal residence.
Who does she supply it to? I guess.
Yeah.
See if she's willing to cough up.
I think given that we've just given her lots of money.
Yeah, well, this is it. That might oil the wheel. She doesn't seem that keen to tell you.
It could make a big difference on an injustice that's happening.
What, like 500 gold pieces worth of injustice?
I think you've got enough already, young lady.
I think, let's see if you can lean into a conscience.
You know that the stone-cap mushrooms that we just sold you are now with this information are probably worth an awful lot more than the 25 gold that you gave us. So I think you've done very well out of this.
All right, she's persuaded. She says, "Well, of course, I give it to the Chamberlain, of course."
The Chamberlain, yeah.
And what he does with it, I don't know.
And did you go to him first of all, or did he come to you?
I guess it says she's been doing it for years. And you got the impression that before
how many years? 4, 5?
Maybe 5 or years. I got the impression that before that, the Chamberlain was doing it himself, or had a different supplier or something.
Yeah.
But
so the Chamberlain, we said that was Clarence.
Well, she doesn't seem to know that name, but she says the Chamberlain. You know, the guy who works in the palace, right? For the Lord.
For the Lord.
Yeah.
But it was the same guy.
Who what?
With the sisters.
Oh, she does she know about the? I can't remember. If did she tell you about the? I don't. I think it was
No.
known by the halfling. I don't think she.
Yeah.
I don't think she knows too much. I don't. Well, I guess you haven't asked her about that. Whether she knows. I'm going to say she. Does she know about the? I mean.
So I guess if it.
Okay. Well, if you ask her a bit, she doesn't seem to know much about these rumors of the former
but
magician.
She's been doing it for over 4 years.
What?
So essentially, has she been doing it for
Mm-hmm.
longer
So
than the
magician
sisters have been?
No,
lost?
the magician and the sister thing was about 34 years ago.
Oh, 34 years ago.
30
oh,
or 30,
sorry.
30 or 40 years ago ish is when the sisters disappeared.
Okay. Okay. Right. Got it.
And she's been doing it for about 5 years, you think. But before that, she's not sure. I think basically when she wanted to become an apprentice, the guy said, well,
Get me this stuff.
if you can get me this stuff, they'll be...
Right, okay. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I'll
I was
help you.
Wrong thing on that. Okay, cool. Cool. Actually, nothing about the 5 thing. He doesn't know anything about that. There is that. I guess. What does she when she's looking? Sorry, it's
Yeah,
just
go
a
for it.
few kind of retcon questions.
No,
Sorry,
because
Leonard,
no, it's fair enough. Because you're only one of you. Like if you had 7 of you, you'd have a chance to think and talk, right?
When the dragon heads are arguing, bickering with each other, what are they bickering about? What are they fighting about? Or
they just seem to
names or
names, right?
Just stands out in her mind about anything that seemed weird.
Who's your best charisma? Let's see how she's feeling about all this because she's getting a bit like cheesed off with asking questions without being paid any money.
Charisma 15 from Willan.
Go on in, you roll up 15 or less, and she's still inclined to continue.
Oh gosh, keep on one in 20s. Hey, 1.
Oh wow. Okay, well we'll give you some. Since you rolled a 1, she's very. This is like a particular pet topic of hers. She gets quite excited about telling you about such things. She said they just like bicker all the time, like all over. Like last time she was there, like they seemed to be keeping a tree between their necks, so they couldn't even see each other.
All right.
Let's see. They're muttering something about it was. They keep muttering. They were talking about some glass bottles. And that it was all each other's fault about the glass bottles. Just trying to see. Right. One of the dragons refers to themselves, or the other one calls them Conifax the Red.
Yeah.
And Luminox the Green. I guess it's Coniforks the way I've written it here, but that doesn't matter. Coniforks the Red and Luminox the Green.
Luminox.
Yeah. But they really do seem to treat themselves as individuals rather than a single dragon. And obviously, Coniforks has the red head, but she gathers.
Yeah.
And Luminox the Green has the green head.
Yeah.
Green, head and neck, there is, of course.
Okay. And what colour is the body?
Oh, the body? Well, it's straight down the middle.
Okay.
Green and red.
And does it... So, when she's... I know most of the time she's kind of... You initially said she's kind of seen it kind of asleep or anything like that, but does it seem like the hands and legs have separate control?
Well, they seem to. Yeah, it's an interesting question.
Kind of work.
They don't seem to be completely uncoordinated and flopping around. Obviously, to the extent that they have autonomy over the body, they must either agree or one has control, or maybe one seizes control. I don't know, or they just to the extent that. I mean, maybe this is why they spend a lot of time in the glade because they have to agree to go hunting or something.
Yeah.
But.
And whereabouts is the glade was east of the standing stones, wasn't it?
So as a general rule, it's quite easy to find because they're often quite rowdy.
Yeah.
So it's actually relatively easy to sneak up on them, but only a madman would obviously want to sneak up on them.
Yeah.
unless you've got a good reason like I do.
Yeah. And how easy is it for you to do that? I mean, you must be really brave.
Well, I guess I'm quite brave, but also I know my way around those woods really well. And basically, I can mask my scent with herbs, and most of the time, creatures can't tell don't spot me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good, pretty good guide and all that. But basically, I'm normally creeping around there, sort of when they're asleep, really. So.
Right. And is there a particular time for that? Is it kind of any time or?
Well, like I said, I normally go around a full moon, and I guess it's a good question. Actually, I haven't really thought about this. Let me have a think. Because I was going to say she goes there at night, but then that'd be pretty tricky to find these things, right? Sort of crashing around the dark. So I guess she goes in the day. Let's say she goes in the day, and maybe this dragon is often having a kip during the day. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just kipping all the time, or she just, if they're not asleep, she's gonna wait till they are asleep or something. Let's go with that.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Possibly. Yeah, cool. So I guess yeah, bit of kippage.
Okay. And what do you think your plan is when you get up, out of interest?
So I think maybe maybe a chat with the Chamberlain if we can.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you're going to ask out of interest? What's your?
So kind of probably the 5 stone thing is intriguing to me. So that we kind of we avoided that just because of.
Yeah, I guess you didn't tell anyone about that, did you, when you were at the palace?
No.
You told about the burning thingy, but to be fair, you were kind of ushered out quickly.
Yeah.
But it's something that maybe might be interesting.
It might be something that we could kind of go back on and just kind of chat about. Okay. I can't remember we didn't really get the sign of the couldn't really see it, could we? The summoning, potential summoning, or the hexagram.
Oh, the words on the pentagram. I think there might have been a language you didn't understand or something. You could see there was writing, but you didn't really understand it. All right, should we just cut to the morning then?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
So I guess you guys get up pretty early because you're adventurers and all that, but maybe you're interested in lying. But anyway, when you guys come downstairs, guess who's sitting in the in the
side?
Nope.
Canny Fawkes the Red.
Nope. That would be part. Empty bar and big pile of treasure.
Yeah. Oh,
Canny Fawkes the Red.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's Bellenden kebab.
Nope, it's the Chamberlain.
Oh, that's exciting.
Good morning, guys.
Hi,
you sleep well?
Yeah, pretty good. Sleep of the innocent.
Okay.
Good job, well done.
Well, I have to say, the Lord Paundrum was very, very pleased with himself, and he congratulated himself at great length that he realised that you guys were going to be able to sort of help him out a little bit with his mission. But he wonders whether you might be interested in a bit more coin, one last job, as it were.
Oh gosh, that sounds exciting. Depends if we get given stuff that actually works.
It all worked. I tested myself. It's a pity you lost it. Frankly, it's quite a lot of effort. Yeah. Anyway, so the Lord wasn't completely transparent about why he wanted the beast, the manticore. I know he said that he wanted it for his menagerie in the walled garden.
Hunting lodge.
Yeah, but actually, I don't know this, but there's a tradition in his family to do a full moon hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And what better prize than hunting the deadly manticore?
Yes.
But the thing is, let's just say Cauldron's a little risk adverse.
That's odd because I thought he was.
He's very brave, but
depicted.
he's very brave, but he likes to ensure that the odds are in his favour.
Oh yeah.
So he can think about it, but there's going to be some, at least the same money again, and little or no risk involved whatsoever. The thing is, he wants to hunt the Manticore and go down in legends for killing the Manticore, the brave hero. But what he wants is a little bit of security on his side to make sure that there's no chance of things going foul. And you guys did such a great job. He wondered if you could maybe ride as escort. So I don't want you to worry. There's any risk here. Don't worry about that at all, because the Manticore. Let me just consult my notes here. So there's no risk to you at all. It's just really good money. The Manticore will be drugged.
All right. Yeah.
Muzzled. Blindfolded, its ears blocked with wax, its feet and tail bound in thin linen, and be weighed down by some very heavy sandbags.
Okay.
So, literally, the Lord's going to rock up, coup de grace it, and then claim the victory.
Oh, okay.
And there's no risk to you at all.
Just Photoshop the picture afterwards, the selfie that he takes.
Well, there'll be a bard there to record the glorious event, and he has his own artist that's already commissioned, nearly finished the work in the throne room. I don't know if you saw it. It's going to depict the Lord by midnight, single-handed combat with the Manticore, and you guys can just help facilitate this. We can make it, and
what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Exactly. All you need to do. I can't see that you would object to this particular thing. It's a terrible beast. It deserves to be slain. And why shouldn't the Lord claim all the glory for himself? Of course, you have to keep this under your hands.
Yes, absolutely. Mum's the word. It's certainly something that we'll think about.
So the Manticore has already been transported overnight to the wall garden. He's been kept there for safekeeping. So all you need to be there is in two days time, ready for the hunt. All I just need to know is whether you're willing to do it.
Yeah or no. Well, if we could. If we could maybe have the rest of those items that were from Clavence.
Right.
That would certainly be helpful, just in case.
Loot.
Just to make sure.
I tell you what, on the day of a hunt, we can give them to you.
That's very kind of you. And also, can you answer a few questions about other things?
Okay, but are you? What's the deal? Because if you're not going to run escort. Because obviously the Lord just wants to make sure that nothing could go wrong. He wants to make sure that he's got some good men behind him, so that when he takes this beast on in glorious combat, that he will be righteously claim all the glory for himself.
Yeah, I think we could do that. I guess so. Previously, from what we've heard, he goes down with a lot of his troops as well. So he'll have his troops there as well, or is he looking?
I think the idea is that he doesn't really want that many people to sort of see it, because it'll look a bit shabby, won't it, if the Manticore can barely move and he's just gonna strike it down. So I think the idea is that he kills it. You guys then cheer him on and say how great he fought, and then the troops who'll be like his normal escort will be on the outside, and they'll come in and then they'll see him standing there with a sword in the beast, and they will cheer him. They'll be able to tell everyone how they witnessed the great slaying.
Fair enough. He does sound truly heroic.
In fairness, he will be taking. In complete truth, he will be taking the beast on in single-handed combat.
You're absolutely right.
Maybe you guys can pin it down while he just in case.
I think we're not going to do that.
What? Why not? A few extra coin in for you?
Well,
you're men of honor, surely.
Yes, men of honor. I think that's the word there. Yeah, I think we can assist with this.
Okay, so it gives you 500 gold as a deposit
Mm-hmm.
in platinum. Just say, same as last time. Was it 5,000 gold in platinum again? But no risk at all. I mean, you took greater risk getting this beast.
Well, especially with an amulet that didn't work.
It did work. I tested it myself. I mean, so obviously it's currently still in its cage in the wall garden. It's been transported there.
Yeah.
So the Lord will have his spare key on him so that someone will have to let the beast out. So maybe one of you could do it, but basically he'll have the spare key on him. We don't tend to remove the other one from the throne room because it's ceremonial, but we'll let it out, and then obviously the Lord will do the deed, the brave deed.
How have you managed to get it muzzled and?
Oh, that'll happen the night. That'll happen a few hours before the hunt.
Who's doing that?
Well, me and some workers. First of all, we kind of give him enough to almost turn it to stone, and then while he's kind of almost like stone, we'll do all this stuff.
Oh, you're going to give us some stone cap?
Because it definitely a bit shocked by that. Who says that out of interest?
Well known.
No, which?
Oh, okay, sorry. I think probably. Willen.
And what's she? Is she a mad?
She's a magic user, yeah.
She definitely looks very shocked. I didn't know you were so wise in the way of herbs.
Yeah, well, this is a thing that I've had to study back in the day.
Well, so we'll of course we'll turn it to stone, and then we'll give it a touch of belladonna, but just enough so it can.
Don't want too much. Just toxic that stuff, you know that, right?
Yes, and then once it's all incapacitated like that, the Lord will bravely step in. I think we'll have a few kind of show strokes, and then in with the kill.
Okay.
And it'll all be thanks to you chaps.
Thank you very much. But I'm sure, to be fair, it is more to do with Pauldron.
It is a very cunning plan. I will very well thought out. So he does deserve all the glory after all.
100%.
I mean, if it wasn't for him, those last lot, they obviously couldn't do it without his aid. So, I think it is all credit to the Lord, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100% sounds.
Mum's the word.
Mum is the word. Mum's always the word.
Okay, so you got some questions you say before he looks like he's itching to go.
So
I've got lots of arrangements to do before I've got to get the wax for the ears and get the sandbags and all the rest of it, and I've got to start making my way down. So unless
it'll be quick.
Yep.
So, the 5-stone mound in.
Oh yes, the 5 stone. Yeah.
Greencombe Forest.
Yeah. Bad luck and all that.
What's all that about though?
It's just I think all the peasants around here are always going on about it. Bad luck. I mean, it is a bit odd that trees don't grow on it, and I don't know.
Are they barrows for ancient things or?
Well, let's see. Give me your charisma roll again, but with disadvantage. So roll 2 and take the worst roll. Do you want to die? There you go. And so what's it? 15, is it?
Yes. Ooh, 3, double 3.
Double 3.
Double 3.
Okay, right. Well, okay. So he seems really put out. He's trying to get out of there. Okay. Well, I mean, there is rumours that it's a barrow under there, and that there's some terrible beast living under there, or some old lord that I think it must be all hokey. Otherwise, someone would have looted it or something. I know it's a dangerous place, but I mean, it is a bit odd. It does have the shape, and there's 5 stones, but to me, it seems to be just where the 5 roads used to intersect, where people. It's a natural meeting point, isn't it? But yeah, there are rumours that it's there's a whole complex below it or something, but I don't give it much stock.
Well, to be fair, when we were coming back, mission focused, because we had to walk back. Did you know we had to walk back?
Did you try the amulet more than once?
In the place, exactly the time you told us. In the place where you told us, and it didn't work.
Do you try any closer to town?
Why did we try it closer to town? You said it would work on stuff there, so.
I mean, it was obviously worth another try. Obviously,
yeah, I'm not convinced.
Anyway, so yeah, yes, okay.
So we came across this the 5 barrow mound.
Okay. Okay.
And there was a crazy big black. I think it was black, wasn't it? Squirrel. They'd obviously. Well,
I did. In fairness, you didn't feed it, did you?
No, we didn't feed it because that's what you told us not to do. It may well have been feeding itself. Because it was burying bones that had been from one of the doors had been broken.
What doors?
The stones doors.
I think just the mound had been broken into.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was
yes, right.
Stone. I think
the stone was still there.
Had been broken. The mound had been broken into, and there were a whole load of bits and pieces around.
So there is like a crypt under there or something, isn't
possibly. We were mission focused.
Oh, okay. Well, that is interesting. I might have to take a little bit of a look actually when I get a bit of time. Oh, thanks for that.
Any thoughts on that though?
Well, I guess there is something must be something to this rumor. I mean, obviously, don't mess with the blink squirrels, but yeah, I don't know. That sounds quite intriguing. I've always assumed it was just superstitious twiddle twaddle. Okay, well, I'll chalk that one down to when I go to pick up my amulet that you tossed away. I'll take a peek.
Yeah, you're welcome. Are you going to walk there?
I use my teleporter, of course.
Of course.
Although actually, it's a bit of a dangerous place, so I'll have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, but at least I can pick up. But at least when I teleport there, I can pick up the amulet and come straight home, right?
Yeah, as long as nothing's taken it.
Yeah, it might be a bit hot.
Yeah.
Taking it.
Well, stuff around, isn't there?
Well, it's a bit of a dangerous place. People don't tend to hang around the manticore's lair.
They tend not to because they get chewed up and eaten, like the poor guys that we saw. But if the manticore's not there anymore, you might have something moving in. It wasn't that much of a big place anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can come clean now. Yeah, we did send a group of adventurers before you, but in fairness, this is why we gave them the extra kit why we gave you the kit because they didn't come back. So we figured full moon's too close now. We need some some adventurers to get this manticore with the least problems.
Maybe. Are you sure they're still not walking back? They returned.
Well, you got the manticore, so I guess not. But yeah, I guess they could still be on the way. But you did say something about bones and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it might be them.
Yeah.
To be fair, well, adventurers are a dime a dozen sometimes. They come in, they come out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Those guys, scumbags. And then,
unlike you, of course, which you guys, I could tell.
Stand up guys.
This is why Lord Poldrum likes you guys. That's why he wants you to stand by his side when he slays the beast.
I'm sure.
You guys you're a solid. You can be relied on to do what you're told. You just like the money, I know. It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. Show me the money.
There you go. Show me the platinum.
Yeah. And then
I really need to get going.
Yeah. One last thing I've seen there. It is again more on Green and Coombe Forest.
Okay.
So Connie Forks the Red. What do you know of her?
Give me No, I better roll this.
Looking for any reactions as well.
So you're watching for reactions?
Yeah.
Let's have a think before I roll. Okay. He looks quite shocked. Or at least his body language looks shocked. And he says, I gotta go, I can't stop any longer, and he literally stumbles and out of the room and disappears literally as quick as he can.
Interesting. Okay.
I got to get on with this job. I can't spare any more time.
Wax is difficult to get hold of.
Enough to fill some manacles ears, buddy. The sandbags aren't going to fill themselves.
Human on the
quite a big head.
thing there.
It's quite a big head.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Interesting. More food for thought.
So if you're going to get down there, you either have to leave fairly soon, or I've assumed for some reason you don't have horses, or you need to get some horses, and you probably got a day. If you had an extra day,
yeah.
I don't know what your plan is, but if an extra day, you could get down there on time with horses, or if you're going to walk, you start heading down now.
So probably just need to grab a couple of little bits and pieces. That was kind of quasi the plan. And
okay, what do you think? What are you thinking about this?
Even more stuff on there. So this is, I don't know, man. This is either going to be just literally just holding his hand and letting this idiot kill this manticore, which I kind of don't feel that much sympathy for. Manticores are fairly nasty. They're not particularly nice things. So there is that. Or it's a setup where he's going to be assassinated and we take the blame for it.
So do you think it's a double cross by
the Chamberlain?
Okay.
Or it's a get us down there and he'll kill a manticore, but then he'll turn into a werewolf. I think that's one of the ones that's kind of further on, kind of quite far away from being.
You think that's least likely?
Yeah, well, I hope it is, because otherwise I've got this all wrong.
Of course, you don't have to help him, of course.
No, we don't. But also, I think so on that, so we can potentially kind of knock off two things at once. So if we do help him, and it is just this purely thing of him actually wanting to look good in front of the peasantry and look heroic by killing off this beast that's been killing his guys, because he's been dumping the. Well, not been killing it, but it's been compelled theoretically, if that's what we believe.
If that's what he says, he's been compelled to dispose of bodies.
Yeah, I mean, it may well be that he's just been doing stuff as well. Then that solves that. Then also, if it then means that the Lord is not turning into a werewolf, then that solves Bellend and Kebab's thing as well. So then they need to be looking elsewhere, and kind of my kind of initial things are kind of pointing more toward Houghton. Then also, so the Chamberlain it clearly has some kind of some kind of money in the game,
right?
So whether he is trying to disrupt stuff, it kind of didn't sound from how we were chatting just then, but whether he's got trying to disrupt things, and as I say, that could then be part of the whole double cross thing. So if he's looking to then try and assassinate the Lord,
right,
and kind of pin the blame on us, there will be something that happens there.
Funny.
So yeah, and then obviously the kind of deliberately mentioned the name Coniforce the Red. Just my kind of initial thoughts are that is the two sisters.
Oh, okay.
They've somehow been turned into something. So all of it again, the time frames, whether that's just a coincidence of the time frames, but the time frame kind of works for that.
Yeah, it's true. It's about 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. So so yeah.
Okay, interesting. So so what's your initial? What do you think your plan is going to be?
So I think. So this has kind of changed stuff slightly, because I was thinking that maybe try and teleport into the throne room to look to see if the statues are statues or if they are.
Well, if you got some horses, you would gain a day back.
Actually, and then everyone's dashed down there as well, haven't they?
Well, sounds like people have started. Presumably, it sounds like the Manticore's already on his way.
Yeah.
And possibly the Chamberlain soon. Whether I don't know, the king, if he's going to go down on horse, would probably have another day. But it does mean that potentially the throne room is clear.
We do have a fair amount of gold now.
I mean, have you got any instincts at all to like free the Manticore?
No.
Spoil the plot?
No. I think ultimately at the end of it, the Manticore's still a dick and quite evil. Killed fellow adventurers.
Yeah. Well, if he did, yeah.
Yeah, if he did, okay, let's add more stuff into that something there. No, you're quite right.
Maybe he's a victim of
So
circumstance. Maybe he's just being. Maybe he's minding his own business.
But manticores aren't renowned for being the nicest of people.
This is true.
And yes, we did kind of.
You have put him in this predicament.
Yeah, we have, but equally, he's not. Manticores aren't the nicest of things, I think, ever, as far as I'm aware.
Maybe he's just misunderstood, dude.
Maybe, but I'm struggling to think that. So yeah, there's lots of little subplots going on. It's quite enjoyable. I'm quite enjoying this. Although I'm hoping that I'm not making that absolute tit of myself by missing really obvious stuff. So yeah, so I guess that's there is that option now. Oh, I should have asked about.
Well, I might allow it if
no,
because this group.
No, it's fine.
What were you wondering
I was
about?
just thinking about the whole Sally and getting an apprenticeship with the.
Oh right, Lord.
With the Lord. But anyway, too late for that. I think if stuff kind of goes on.
To be fair, she's also got a fair amount of loot now, so maybe she doesn't need to be.
Yeah, but whether that gives her more access to stuff, and then even though she seems not particularly nice, it might be something that she can then be doing stuff kind of further.
Yeah, I think on that one, if you forgot at the time, it's not one. I think if you just had a question about something, then maybe. But in terms of retroconning it, I think that one I'd probably err on say if it didn't occur to you then.
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't going to ask.
I don't think you were, but I was just going to say that one because it's very specific. It's not like I can ask more about the situation that was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Either way.
Especially we can always if it's that desperate and stuff there, and he's not trying to rush things. I think you're doing a good job of him being quite rushy. Then we can always ask tomorrow, as it were. So
that's true.
There, so that there's no things there. So
what about Hafton? Do you think is the goal too good to resist? I mean, in theory, I guess I shouldn't steer from my playtest. I think I shouldn't say it, but I'd rather you go down to the thing. But is it possible that
I'm going down to? I think that
the Clip and maybe an accomplice would want to go to Hafton to do some reconnoitering? It does sound like the mission is a slam dunk.
It's clearly not. No, I think the Hafton thing is probably something that.
Yeah, it's not super urgent, but it's pressing, right?
It's not as pressing, but also
this is definitely time limited.
Something that you need to maybe not send one person along for, just because it seems like it's becomes fairly kind of almost
makes sense,
for want of a better word, fascistic. So I think I'll probably
keep the team together. Okay.
Yeah, or at least be able to reconnoitre that kind of area.
Okay.
In strength, as it were.
And to be fair, it would make it more difficult to run this adventure, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that was a really lucky dice roll at the very beginning.
Yeah,
may well kind of sidetrack stuff
a little
away
bit
from the beast hunt.
Yeah, right. You also notice that they now freely refer to it as a manticore, was right before they kept just calling it a beast.
Yeah,
like
so not describing it particularly well. Though the description was enough for me to kind of guess. Right. I think I did.
You did, yeah. Although I think on my version it said manticore.
Yeah, tail. Tail of a beast. You
probably don't have time. You probably don't have time to get into the woods and back. If you wanted to try to go to the woods, that would be in the time frame. I don't think you do.
No, I think, and also if it is something. I mean, he was muttering about there being. So if it's the barrow that we go to, that there being a complex right underneath. So I don't really want to get caught in that.
If he's right, I mean, you could take have a reconnaissance.
And then there's something about. There's the one thing that I can't quite work out with the glass bottles for the girls, which I suspect is the girls. Sorry, the two sisters.
And your reasoning for that is that there's two the time frame, and there's two.
Time frame, there's two, and the names.
Oh, why the names?
So the names. So you gave me the names before was Connie and Lucinda,
Okay.
and then we got Connie for
Connie Fawkes.
the red,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Luminox.
Luminox, the green.
I see.
So kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know, bickering.
Yep.
Not sure what would have happened there though, and then the fact that obviously that's incredibly odd. Maybe in this campaign to have a two-headed dragon of different colours.
Yeah, that would strike you as a bit odd.
So yeah,
and down the middle too.
Yes, straight down the middle. So whether there's
because that's the bit I didn't. That's the bit I didn't initially say when you were talking to Sally.
Yeah.
She just referred to two heads, but then
Yes.
later on you asked, and it was
right down
continued
the
because
middle.
it could be like a brown body, right?
Yeah, that was the
Or green,
thing
yeah.
there. So whether it was something that was more dominant than the thing.
Kind of maybe implies two halves, right?
Yes, melding together or somehow with some form of magic,
Mm-hmm.
and then either. So as I say, deliberately mentioning the name to the Chancellor because my suspicions are it's probably Clavence or someone that knew him or something. I'm not sure when it comes to that stuff there.
Yeah.
When he wears a mask, you can't see anything, so that's just like that's
Red flag.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Unless he is fuck ugly.
You do think he's fuck ugly. You absolutely do.
So whether that then is something either just part of the storytelling or like a kind of a major part and stuff. So
red herring or not?
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
So
I wonder what. Okay, so what? Any more questions, or you want to? Do you know what you want to do?
I think the question that I thought about is not one that I think couldn't be retconned or I would want to be retconned either.
Yep.
So that's not
Okay.
thing. So it was just a thought process really more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So plan wise, so it would be I think there's a couple of things. So one, I think it would be if Bellend and Kebab are about with the mother.
Yep.
Then it would be good to just kind of speak to them about what's going on, just so they don't do anything rash and silly. But also because I think whilst they are living up to their names, they could be quite helpful if we do then go on to do other things at a later date. So kind of thing. So might be worth just kind of trying to put them off of doing anything kind of rash.
Yeah.
Also, maybe getting some horses so then we can maybe try to teleport in to if everybody's gone down to this hunting lodge and we can do it in a day with horses, then maybe do the teleporting into the throne room tonight.
Yeah.
So,
the only thing I would say is thinking about it because you can get in, but how are you going to get back out?
Well, yeah, there is. Yeah, I was thinking that. But if it's a thief that goes in, then they theoretically have a chance-ish to kind of get out.
Because you came in.
The boots are leaping.
You also been in a few times, right? So you know some of the way. I mean, and you've got the sneaky boots. Actually, they're quiet.
We've got the sneaky elven boots, but we also have the boots of leaping as well, don't we?
Yeah, can't wear both though, of course.
No, but could take both.
True.
And then if there is, wear the sneaky ones, and then if it's something like we need to jump up really high to get to the battlements or something, then we can maybe do that.
Then the other thing is that the Lycan gang said they did know a way in and out.
Yeah, that's
so you might you might be able to you might go in and sneak out that way, or at least know the way out.
Maybe if we speak to them,
because they seem to be willing to tell you that. At least you might have a backup plan, right?
That's a very good point. Very good point. I hadn't really thought of that.
Yeah. Well, it's only because I thought, well, if you've got a group of you, you were talking about how you get in and out, right?
Yeah.
So,
although, as I say, from my point of view, I was thinking if it was Bar Dirt, then although his thieving skills they're quite low, to be fair. But if he's the boots, I think
boots are creeping or whatever, he would not make much fuss, at least at night.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so I'm just going to say, while you guys are watching the Chamberlain hurry out the door, you hear a creak on the step, and both Belladonna and Bella and Donna,
Yeah.
Bella and Donna are both on the stairs like this, looking at you like this. And it's like, oh, I see. We're talking to the Chamberlain now, eh? You really are in cahoots with the
Come and have a
the
sit
Lord.
down. Come and have a sit down.
Okay, so they
Let's
come
have a
over.
chat.
They both order a tall glass of milk, and I guess what's his name starts rustling up some porridge. He seems to know what they're going to want for brecco.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which seems to be some goat milk and a hearty bowl of porridge each.
Okay, cool.
No
Not
sign of
licking the bacon fat off of the grill or anything like that.
No, these guys are into their hearts. Though there's no sign of mother. Maybe she's sleeping in.
Maybe she's making a porridge.
Maybe she's recovering from that. Maybe she's taking up the service with the new serving lady. She'd be a little bit less grumpy. Maybe.
Well,
She's maybe recovering from that hand injury.
Yeah, she seemed quite whispery. Whispering's not the thing there. So essentially,
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll spell out what is happening.
Which is what?
So going down to the hunting retreat.
You're going down with the Lord to hunt.
Not down with the Lord, but down to meet them down there on the night that they think there's going to be an issue. So if there is an issue, then we're there.
So you're just, and they say, and you will kill him if he's a werewolf.
If he's a werewolf, then we're going to have no option, are we? We're going to have to. So from that perspective, there's not a huge amount that we can, that we can do if that happens.
Okay. Well, they sound pleased by that idea. Okay, so they say it's a bit.
So I think from your perspective, there is probably a very real threat, an issue up in Hafton.
So you're sticking with that story, are you?
I think so.
No, they're saying that to you. You're sticking to that story, are you?
Yeah.
They seem sceptical.
Yeah, I think so. Everything's changed up there.
Okay.
Probably not for the better. There's lots of other issues going on. It was kind of, it was information given to us possibly under coercion.
Or you're trying to put us off the scent.
Or that. But like we've said, we are going down there with him. So if there is any issues, then at least we're there to stop anything from happening.
Fair enough. Okay, they say, I'll tell you what, we're willing to go investigate Hafton for you if you're willing to go into the palace and steal the ring from Lord Hafton's...
What does the ring do again, remind me?
They believe it controls lycanthropes.
Okay. And what's this exit and entrance that you have then?
Okay, so they say that they know there's apparently behind the throne.
Yeah.
There is an escape tunnel.
That classic behind the throne.
Yep, exactly. Behind the throne there's an escape tunnel, which leads out to a place that they know.
Where's that though?
Well, I'll show you. And they say basically it basically goes down and then into like a tunnel and appears like in some sort of some sort of street corner thing, right? Some secret entrance to be specified later. But they say basically they can show you where the tunnel to get in is.
Yeah.
And more importantly, that basically behind the throne there's basically like a loose cobblestone that you press in, and then a secret door come up, and you press a stone on the inside and it'll close again. So you can escape down there, and basically it's unguarded. Only the royal family know about it, and them.
How do they know about it?
They say they're not going to tell you their sources, but they have actually been down that tunnel and have regularly listened to see what Lord Hafton is talking about, because they think they can get him to see if he's going to confess to be a werewolf.
And at any time has he confessed to anything that's remotely close to that, or is he just talking about his own heroics all the time?
He spends a lot of time talking about his own heroics.
Yeah, there you go.
But we still think that basically he's going to turn into a werewolf, and they think that basically that your description of Manticore is some evil alliance that he's forming with the Manticore.
And the cobblestones that you press, are they as obvious as the cobblestones in Dungeon Master?
Very similar, yeah.
They're obvious if you're.
Let's just say they look like the cobble has a 5-sided shape to it. It's a little unusual. It's like almost like a pentagram.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing down the tunnel that we need to be wary of. No traps. No.
No.
No other like
Bit slippery.
paths.
No, it's just a one-way escape tunnel. It's meant to be a bolt hole. Let's just say it appears on the outside of town. Let's say it goes under, comes out, and then you're like in some like mildly wooded kind of thing, and then you can circle back round into town quite easily. But he thinks it hasn't been basically used for, well, 20 or 30 years. It's basically, he even wonders if the whole Lord even knows about it.
Okay.
In fact, he thinks he probably doesn't. He thinks he almost certainly doesn't know about it. Maybe he does.
And has the Chancellor ever shown any knowledge of it at all?
Not that he knows of. I mean, basically, I think the view is that you can only open it from the. It's best to, well. Let's get this right. Yeah. Okay. So they say that basically you can open it easily on the inside from the throne room.
Yeah.
Or from the outside, you might have to like break it down.
Right. Okay. So it's literally the closing thing on that is just to hide the fact that there's something there.
Yeah. So he thinks they think if you basically cover it in like a blanket or something, you could probably force it down. But it's a one-way trip. It'll be obvious that someone's been through, and you'll never be able to use it again. Okay. So they think that if you're going to break it in like they're suggesting you do, that it's a one trip mission, because after that, people will know that you've used it, and it'll be sealed up or guarded thereafter, right? Mm-hmm. So that it's easy to trigger from the outside silently, inside silently, but from the outside you'll have to break the hinges or something, and then it will thereafter be obvious, and no one will be able to use it again. So in terms of an exit, it would be stealthy.
Yeah.
In terms of an entrance, it wouldn't be that noisy, but again,
it's a one-way thing. You can go back.
I mean, I guess you could prop it up or something, but it'd be pretty obvious.
And do you have to move? You don't have to move the throne or anything like that at all. No. It's literally there's like space behind.
There, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll also ask them about the 5-stone barrow.
Yeah, they've seen it, but
do they know anything about it?
Well, they just say it's a good referencing point.
Nothing else. They're not aware of anything else.
No. They've only been there a few times. They've been in the woods a few times, but it's not like they hang out there or anything.
Yeah. And what about dragons or anything like that at all? Are they aware of any dragons in there?
No, let's have a look. Let's just roll. Nope.
No. And they didn't find anything when they were going out with Sally or anything like that at all?
Well, they seem surprised that you know about this, but they said that basically they thought she was a werewolf. but basically they said they spent one full moon with her, and in the because they were tracking her in the Green Farm, she didn't turn into a werewolf, so
she's just picking lots of herbs.
Yes, and mushrooms and things. Mm-hmm. They seem to be interested in that kind of stuff. So I think we're pretty confident. And she says, well, to be fair, she used to feed us information, but a couple of days, like yesterday, she just disappeared.
Yeah.
So
it's a massive house somewhere.
Yeah, but we did get a note from Waldo saying he wanted to see us. That was tucked under our door.
Weird. That room 21, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
19. Actually, I'm reading Dark Tower at the moment.
I've never read it. You said it's good.
It's really worthwhile. Anyways, before getting distracted with that. So there was something I was going to say.
So they say, we're giving this information. Can you go in there, get the ring?
Just before the thing there. So just for the thing, can we have some? We know you've got some fresh belladonna. Mother.
Oh yeah. Mum always keeps some. Yeah.
Can we have some of that?
Sure.
Just obviously protection against werewolves and other bits.
Okay. To be honest, they probably also have it on them, so it's like, okay, well, here you go.
Nice. Okay, cool. And if we were to make a distillation of this, what alcohol would you guys recommend?
Okay, so he
It's a strong one.
pulls out a vial. Well, I've got some.
What, alcohol or distillation?
No, no, I've already got a tincture of belladonna if you want
Okay,
it.
cool. Yeah, if you don't.
Because if you're going off the little pauldron,
Yeah.
the werewolf, you probably should have some of
Yep,
this.
that would be super helpful.
We got plenty.
Nice. Well, can we take 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Basically, they fancy themselves professional werewolf hunters, so they carry this stuff on them.
Cool.
So they seem quite excited that you're gonna get him, but they're obviously still a little bit suspicious. But they say if he gets this ring, that will really help us, give us some satisfaction that you're gonna do the job, and we'll go investigate Hafton and come back with a report.
Okay.
But we want the ring.
Okay.
That's on the statue of the.
It's actually on the statue.
Well, apparently it's on a necklace around his.
Yeah.
Around the statue's neck.
Okay.
And it's got the family crest on it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think we can probably
Deal?
look to do that. Yeah.
Okay, great. So when can we expect to get the ring? If you're going tonight, I guess what, in the morning or?
Probably best that we do it at night. Should we just drop it around to your room after we're done?
Okay, yeah, right.
Room 19?
Yeah, room 19 it is. Just don't wake Mother. She doesn't like to be woken up.
All right then. Well, we'll try not to because she is just lovely. She'll probably be busy with Weldo.
Creepy.
And I guess the only other thing for this, I don't write their names down. I can't remember what it was. The going right back, I think they're just for thing, and I don't think it is just for clarification.
Yeah.
I think I remember you saying the adventurers' bodies that we found, or the bodies that we found, were they weren't super fresh, but they weren't super old either.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be the Ravenclaws.
I think you would have. I think you would have probably recognised them.
Are those guys still around, or?
Well, you could ask. You could ask.
Has anyone seen them? If we ask,
you could ask Waldo.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently they checked out last night.
Did they? Interesting. Okay, cool. So a couple of things just for us then. So I think we've probably, to my mind, answered lots of things and kind of got bits and pieces that we need. But it's super helpful that we've got that escape tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess one of the things.
Just for the record, with the amulet, I guess whoever has the amulet, whoever they touch, will go with them, right? Because otherwise, how would you take the whole party, teleport back and forwards? So that was probably explained to you.
Yeah. But then, do we want all 6 there?
I don't know.
I guess if we've got that exit thing, 6 might be helpful if there's guards, but then equally, if because in throne room nighttime, would there be guards? I think there'd be more. I kind of feel that there wouldn't be.
Let's think. Why would there be guards?
Yeah.
You imagine there might be guards outside. Might make more sense.
So like at
but
certain points and thing, I can't see there being.
But I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't or isn't, but just more logically unlikely than unless there's like
thought process.
And I guess you're suspicious about these statues, right?
Yes.
You probably, if you were if you thought they are what they are, you probably wouldn't like want a board guard like wandering around.
Yeah,
messing
just in case and thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably, but.
So I reckon. I guess everybody could go, couldn't they? Just for thing, but do we need to? Anywho, so stuff for during the day. So going to look out a bow, I think, for the arrows.
Okay.
To go, and I think they'll probably Ganther obviously being the fighter.
Buy some horses, is it?
Probably think there. Buy some horses. I guess we could get a short bow for Clip as well, couldn't we? They could kind of split the arrows between them.
If you want. So Clip and who?
Ganther, the other fighter.
He's got a crossbow, doesn't he?
He does have a crossbow, yeah. Actually, yeah, maybe just give it to Clip then, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think technically you need proficiencies and such things. But
yeah, that's the trouble. But I guess my thought process was if they're a fighter, then although they'll get negatives, at least it'll be better than.
I guess what would he take as his? Would he have already taken a proficiency? And would it? I guess he'd probably, if he's a halfling, it might be a sling, but it also could be a short bow, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to give me
or a crossbow?
Possibly a crossbow.
Armies of crossbows.
Need high strength, man. Tell you what, if it's on an even, he has a bow proficiency. On an odd, he's got a sling proficiency.
Oh, okay, yep.
To even, he's got a bow.
Odd.
Okay, he's got a sling proficiency, so he could use it, but he might have to use his proficiency when he levels up or something.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, a negative, I think the lack of proficiency won't make up for the plus unless the arrows you need, unless you're trying to hit a thing that has to be hit by a magical target.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll get a bow anyway.
Yep.
A nice one, just a thing there for him. With some normal arrows, he can start practicing.
Yeah.
At some point.
Fair enough.
And he can have the arrows. So if there is anything that needs a magical thing to.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe a short bow to the head,
or even a stabbing weapon.
Yeah, maybe then, maybe. So yes, so that's that. Horses. To get down to ways there. A little bit of tuck and other bits and pieces.
Yep.
Anything else that we need to do? I don't think there is. Can just mosey on round, just have a few. Just look around town stuff to see what's going on, chat to people and stuff. Okay. Maybe see if anyone knows what's happened to Sally. See if she's moving into a bigger palace by the side of the palace or something.
She bought the palace. No sign of. No one seems to know much about Sally. She's obviously getting on with her own business right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, so I guess
you're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's going? Who's holding the...
I'm wondering. So...
Or you could just take the team.
Yeah, I think we've got to... I think, hopefully, we've got an escape route. I mean, it sounds like, these guys, if they're... Although they seem nuts, they do seem to be kind of...
sincere.
Yeah. So I guess that's...
They got a one issue thing going, but you don't get a bad vibe from them really.
They're just hyper concentrated on that, aren't they? So,
everyone's a werewolf.
Yeah, everyone is a werewolf. So I think the team.
The whole team.
Yeah,
okay.
I think just so that we've got.
I mean, I guess you could leave.
If we need.
I guess you could leave one guy watching the reverse end of the tunnel. Maybe, I don't know if that makes sense. But then you're going to be one man under.
Yeah, I think is there any reason to suspect that if it's only known by those guys? I think as they've said, if
let's just say you do like a sly reconnoiter and it doesn't look like it's been used for ages.
Yeah, I think
it's like they show you. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you don't because you might draw attention to it. But
I think essentially although I guess getting back into the town might be a little bit difficult.
I mean, I guess you could have someone waiting there with the horses, so it looks like you've been on a bit of a horse ride or something. Circle around, I don't know. But then the horses might draw attention.
Yeah.
You might just have to draw attention, I don't know. Or sneak back in. I mean, it's not a fortified town, it's pretty...
Oh, it's not walled?
Well...
I thought it was walled. Or is it? Is that just my imagination of just
well, let's think. There is a gate and things, but it's not like it's sealed at night or anything. It's not like a fortified thing where they lock it up at night. It's just basically.
Cool. So we could, if we and they.
You might get notice coming back, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess if the guys are.
I guess what you could do is pretend to be going for a walk at a town.
And then use the thing. Yeah.
To beam in, and then it looked like you're just coming back for your your nightly.
From our...
Just going for a constitutional walk, everybody. I don't know.
That is actually a good thing because he did say that he tried it outside of the town and it worked.
True.
So actually, I think so. My thought process for the escape route from the throne room is if this, as I'm hoping / suspecting, the Lord is fairly useless. Hasn't been taught the secrets of the thing. So
and if you remember, you remember the palace's security was quite slack.
Yeah,
because the people couldn't even remember the right password.
Yeah, so I think, and whether if the Chamberlain knows it, possibly, especially if it is Clarence, but then he's theoretically gone down to sort this stuff out down the ways there.
Meant to be.
So let's see.
Okay, so you go out of town.
Go for a walk.
We'll go for a constitutional walk.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess you might want to leave like. I guess what time are you planning to go in there? Like midnight?
Yeah, so it's going to be like after.
So you go out at like 9 o'clock, pretending to like go somewhere, do you, or and then like hunker down for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do?
Teleport back in. Oh, Clarence is magnificent.
So you all hold hands or something, and then someone does it. Okay, I'm just gonna roll dice. Okay, so Clarence is magnificent, and poof, you all appear in the throne room.
Yeah.
And no one's there. Just some gently flickering torchlight.
Nice. So,
oh, you do notice the painting looks like nearly complete now.
Yeah.
There's like Lord Pauldron like fighting this manticore that looks terribly fierce and like and like it's in great peril. There's a full moon.
Nice.
Do you need a picture of the throne room again?
No, I think I pause it. I mean,
I'll just show it to you. That's.
I love that you got one of these things.
Well. So so there's the motto and there's the throne room. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hold the page if you want.
Thank you.
I don't think there's anything else on there. Let me just check this. I think that this is designed to be seen by people. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess. So I guess. So first things first. Look behind the throne.
Okay. You see what looks like a 5 cobbled thing that looks promising.
Yep.
It looks a bit unusual. The rest is quite smooth. There's just this little kind of pentagrammical shaped cobble. So that seems to check out.
So okay, that's cool. So that's there ready. There's only one entrance into this room as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
which is locked.
It is locked.
Well, the doors are closed.
Doors are closed. Okay, cool.
Presumed locked.
Yeah. So obviously everyone's being as quiet as they possibly can when we're doing this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. You haven't moved yet. Are you all armoured? That's a good question. Are you all tooled up and armoured? Because you could have taken your horses with your armour, so it looked like you weren't going out adventuring.
The trouble is, though, if there is any trouble, then we would be. I think we would probably want to be armoured.
I guess you could be pretending that you were going down to the gardens, couldn't you?
Well, that would. If anybody questioned me, that's what I was going to say. Is we're off down there, and then we'd just say, "Oh, we've forgotten something."
We thought we left the oven on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretending to go down to the walled garden, right?
Yeah, and I think as much as it pains me for kind of like noise and stuff like that, I think we probably would be armoured.
Okay.
Just so that if there is any issues, or if we do get into a ruckus, then at least we can protect ourselves. So I guess first things first. Oh, go on, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Yeah. No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I presume the sword is gone from above the.
Yes.
Good. Okay, cool. Just at least he's taken that down with him.
There is a blue key there.
Yeah. Which is ceremonial for.
Well,
that's what he said anyway.
Or it's left there, but it's either there's a spare one and that's left there, or it could be ceremonial, or it's a genuine key for the cage.
Yeah. So
you could take it.
I think to be fair, probably that was one of my thought processes of taking it.
Because you are robbing the place, frankly. Yeah. Well,
so get what we can. So
those robbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna lift the key. Okay. Who's got the key then? I guess it doesn't matter.
I think Bardurt, just because he's.
He's tricky.
Bardurt blue as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Is he just going to tie around his neck?
no, it's you stupid key.
Okay.
So then, anything else in the? Because obviously this is before we get sent away. So anything else? Is there still stuff on the table?
No,
or
that's been cleared off.
so it's all fairly clear.
Yeah. In fact, there might not even be a table there now.
Yep, that's cool. So let's have a look at the Lord's father.
Okay. Right, you wander over there. It's basically a statue of him just like standing in a neutral position.
Yep.
And just for the record, so's his
The
wife.
as well. Yep.
So just and there's like a little kind of not barricade, but like one of those roped off sections, so it keeps people away.
Yeah.
And as you say, he's wearing the garland, and it's basically it seems kind of designed so no one messes with the statue.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, is it a statue?
So what are you gonna do?
Touch it.
What, with your hand?
Yeah.
Okay. It feels pretty rigid, so it's firm. It feels quite solid, but it feels warm.
I wondered that thing. Okay, so
and he's also under his like garland. You can see what looks
The ring.
like a ring on a leather. Oh no, chain. Sorry.
Yeah. So we'll take that.
So you take the chain off.
Anything happen? Draw myself.
Okay, let me just think. Okay. All right. You take it off, and as you're looking at it, you think. You just instantly say, "This is a fake."
Just straight away think it's fake.
You take it off and think, "This looks like a fake."
Right.
There's just something about maybe the weight, or maybe it's a replica because they don't want to leave it in the throne room.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, "Oh, right." But maybe the Lycan gang won't know any wiser, or maybe you could just tell them that that's the one that was there because you not have made one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're going to keep it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, who's got that then?
So I think. So again, I think everything's going to Bardet.
Is he going to put it on?
Just because
he's got the ring. He's got the key around his neck.
He's not got it around his neck. He's got it in a pouch.
And he's got on his index finger.
And I think he's not going to put that on either.
On the outside of his glove.
Earring.
Okay.
So I think he'll take that as well.
Okay, so he's pocketed both. All right.
And then anything else on the either the Lord or the Lady?
Well, they're just wearing like, I guess, clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I guess they're
So they haven't like swapped it and she's wearing it, or there's no other.
Oh, you want to see if she's not. She's not got on. Okay, let's continue. I just was thinking about something else. Right. Well, I was thinking about it, but let's keep going. Anything else?
There's nothing else on them that
would catch
of any
your
interest.
eye. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think so they go into a thing of what I suspect is a thing of suspended animation for them. The belladonna doesn't take effect straight away, so I think
the belladonna does work quite quickly. It's just that the mushrooms take 4 hours to work.
Yeah.
But then you can keep it going by giving them like a bit at a time. But the belladonna actually does reverse the effects quickly.
Okay.
Because remember that the belladonna does reverse the effects of the mushroom.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to Sally. So, what's your thought process? You think that Pauldron has frozen these two?
I don't think Pauldron's done it. I think because obviously it's been given to the Chancellor. I think the Chancellor's got sticky fingers involved in something.
Although, do you think the Lord would have like touched these statues before now? It's in his throne room.
Depends if they. I mean, I guess it depends if the Chancellor has been selling him stuff to kind of, as in like stories, not like
And I guess
selling
also
him
it's
stuff.
fairly warm throne room. I mean, you're suspicious about it being
Yeah,
a person, right? Rather
Yeah.
than
just accepting that it's the
a
statue.
cursory touch would probably think you probably just think. I guess would
And
be
also,
a statue.
and that was they've been
For about so Pauldron, I think Pauldron became took the seat of the house when he was about 18. So he was about 8 when the twins
yeah.
disappeared. So it would have been about 10 years from that point. So it would have been about 20 years ago that his parents mysteriously disappeared.
18, maybe it's a bit more ruthless then. There's still just part of me that kind of just thinks it's more.
So I guess, are you thinking about reviving one?
Yeah, I was, but then so my thought process was to maybe put them on the throne, do the belladonna, and then if that was going to take a little bit of
They
time,
are stiff.
Escape.
They would be like.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can just fold them if you were.
No, but we could like carry them over.
Oh, stand them by the throne.
Yeah.
That's true. You can put them on the throne and then
put and then make it and then escape.
So I guess here's the thought process: if you free them up, what's the consequence? If Clarence is behind it, then he'll be exposed.
He's exposed. But then
the Lord
but then everybody's down at the hunting lodge.
Mm-hmm.
So unless there's a magical way of getting messages down there, then they're not going to get down there before.
No, but I guess if he's the true Lord and should be running things, he'll like say, "I'm the real Lord." Like get my. Yeah. So that's one thing, and then the other thing is if Pauldron is in on it.
So I guess he could wait.
He would also be exposed, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, is there a downside? Maybe be handsomely rewarded for putting the.
But then if we do the thing with the manticore, then we'll get handsomely rewarded for that. Then come back up, do the thing for the Lord.
Yeah.
In the in the middle of the night or whatever again.
I mean, you could still go and do both and hedge your bets. The thing is, like, you're not going to be able to. Are you going to be able to get in easily again? The other thing is, you could find out and then freeze them again or something. I don't know.
But if we could just do the same thing with the amulet.
True, but I guess everyone is out now.
Yeah, but if I do it again at night time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. I guess
if I leave it a little bit of time after he comes back and is lauded by everybody and stuff, then just kind of work it that way. So be interested to see what happens. I think
they did. I guess what did he say about payment? Did he say he was going to pay you on the day or after the mission was completed? Like, would you have got paid on the site? He gave you a little bit of a deposit, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, before
he gave you the money.
He probably doesn't want to be giving money in front of all of the
retainers. Would he have taken all this?
Oh my God, he's so brave and stuff there. So whether it's something to be expected to be given as we're led and shuffled out again, whilst the bard and the artist do their bits and pieces, and all of the troops get super excited.
But it's platinum, and it's quite portable. I guess would he want to just give it to you and like get rid of the witnesses?
Yeah.
I guess let's see. If we roll evens, he says
get rid of the witnesses.
Oh, I'm gonna say if it's evens, he says he's going to pay you on the day.
Yeah.
Like straight after the killing, and then you're meant to discreetly disappear. Okay, so he said that you get paid after.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think. So I think what I'll do is
I guess the only other thing is there a danger that this trapdoor won't be as, when you close it again, will it obviously show some disturbance? I guess there's a danger that it won't be completely concealed.
There is, but I think so certainly from the way you described it, and I think the way that they would want it to work, it would be something that goes back and it isn't seen, because the whole point is that then they can escape and no one knows that they've escaped and there isn't.
Sure, or it gives you enough time to escape before anyone realises. But yep.
So I think for the time being, we've done what we think. So I think we keep the key. We'll keep the.
I guess if you take the key, it'd be obvious that
something's happened actually.
the ring will be less obvious because it's hidden under a garland.
True. Do I need the key? They're going to let that out theoretically. I'm not going to let it out. There's no reason for me to let it out. Yeah, screw it.
Could you do something that implies someone has been in there but not you? Or could it just mysteriously disappear? And someone will get the blame for it.
Yeah. But then if that disappears, then will people then search the room a bit more and then realise that the ring is gone?
Well, yeah, maybe.
If they think so.
But again, would you be in the frame for it?
I don't think. Well, I mean, if they then can't find the amulet if he sends some guys up to look for it, then potentially.
Yeah. The only thing I would also think about this.
So I think the key can probably stay.
And
not because, as I say, I'm not going to let the manticore out if they're doing stuff there. The manticore can rot for all I'm concerned. Yeah. I don't really care about.
So you're not considering freeing the manticore yourself, no. So you don't need to worry about the key.
From that perspective, that's not really a thing. If I wanted to use that cage for something else, then potentially that could be a time.
I guess if you want to steal the cage.
Yeah, but at the moment we don't. At the moment we don't need to.
True, but if you want to steal it, the best time to steal it would be on the day, wouldn't it? Because the chance
but then the cage they put by the side of the frame anyway, don't they? Or it was, but previously.
But would they leave it there? That's the danger. I guess if you want to steal the cage, then this would I'm not trying to persuade you to take the key, by the way. I'm just saying, talking it through. If you want to steal the cage, because I hadn't even thought about you wanted to steal the cage till now, but of course, kleptomaniac adventurers, then stealing the key would make sense because
you could then it's then a set.
Yeah. And then basically you probably are giving up your chance of getting the platinum because it would be saying you can't steal the cage and then say you'd be saying, well, I'm having this and sort it.
But then equally, I think this gives us an option of if we don't take stuff now, we've got a chance to theoretically look at stuff and decide at a later date if we want to. I think they probably won't keep the cage there, but whether the key is like the key, as you say, I think the Chancellor said, is ceremonial as well, so that will probably.
And apparently, Pauldron has one on him, so
so
you could try and rob him for it.
If it's a double cross and we're going to be framed of killing him, then actually we could, that would be something that we could potentially get anyway. So,
I mean, the only other thing is you could hide something in this tunnel. I guess, does that make any sense? Probably not. You might as well have it on you, right?
I think if there's anything there, we may as well just take it. But,
okay. So you got the ring. You leave the key.
Yeah. Anything else that's worth? I mean, not that I think actually, do you know what? Even if there is anything worth, we've got lots of gold. We've got lots of the bits and pieces. The other thing that was potentially of interest was the sword. I think, which is probably
that's like gone.
Plus 10 Vorpal or something.
Could be.
So anything else that there would, I think we've got enough in gems and gold and platinum and other bits.
You've done pretty well on loot.
I guess incredibly well on loot
so far. I guess the other thing is if you want to go up to Hafton, I'm just thinking about. Don't know how much shit you want to stir up before you leave. Is there anything?
Yeah, well that's it. So I think leaving this is as discreetly as possible with the main thing we came for.
The ring.
The ring. I think I was toying with the idea of reviving the mother and father, but if it revives quicker than an hour or two or something, so my kind of thought process was to revive them and then let them make a noise and come out and hopefully the guards would recognise them. I mean, maybe not. But the
other thing is you could just like balance a berry in the ear or something, or a lip, so it would like gradually, rather than like rubbing it in.
Yeah.
So it might take a little while to kick in.
Then I can do that at another point.
Yeah.
So from that
perspective, I'm not trying to talk you into doing one way or other. I just like you don't have anyone to bounce. You don't have time to bounce off.
So I think those can wait. That could be something to come back and do at a later date.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, no one's going to know that we've been there.
Yeah, you still got the amulet.
We've got the amulet.
Unless the doorway somehow leaves a trace.
Yeah. But then everyone's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah. I'm just saying, but that's the only risk you have in this scenario.
And equally, if we're going down to thing, then we still don't have any shade on us. So.
Okay. So is the plan to get out of dodge? Okay. So you press the thing, and amazingly, it opens.
Hey.
And so I guess I'm guessing there's like a lever on the handle on the inside. You can pull it closed.
Yeah.
So that's it. You're not gonna nothing
There's
else.
a button to press as well, wasn't it?
I think it's. I think because I was thinking about it on the fly. I think basically you press the button on the inside to let it open.
Yeah.
But there's a handle to close it behind you.
Right, got it. Yeah.
But you could force it through.
Yeah. But it would.
But you wouldn't be able to fix it again.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay. Cool.
So that's how it is. So you clonk it.
Clonk it.
And then you just
make our way back down.
And then you start riding back into town, going, "Oh, I can't believe I left my favourite blanket. Ganther, where did you leave that dart? I think I left the dart under my pillow. What?" Okay, so you go back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just see if anyone finds this suspicious. Because it's a little odd.
I think we won't be. So we won't be like properly brazen about it, but we're not going to try and hide.
Yeah, you're just going to be casual, casual, but not too like indiscreet. Okay, don't roll 17 or more.
18.
Okay, so you come back, and a guy steps out and goes, "Halt! What are you doing out this time of night?"
We forgot stuff. Sorry. We were off down to the hunting lodge for the Lord for his celebration, his midnight hunt, and we realised, like dickheads, that we forgot a few bits. The
Chamberlain knows all about this, does he?
Yeah, 100%. The Chamberlain asked us to go down. We were going to walk down, but then we thought actually
this guy starts writing some stuff on a small bit of paper. Here. Keep going.
We were going to walk down, I think there, but we've got some horses, and so we were going to leave tomorrow, but then we thought, let's get stuff sorted. So we just forgot a few bits and pieces. We need to make sure that we've got everything ready for the Chamberlain. So rather than get down there and not have the stuff there, you know what he's like, and he gets in a bit of a piss, and the thing there, he gets really grumpy, doesn't he? And the thing his mask starts to turn red and stuff.
Okay.
So then there was this lizard man.
That's not good there, buddy. Okay, so you make some thing.
That's why I just described it.
So he's a little bit. You can tell he's not very convinced by this, but he writes this little note. He rolls it up and he gets like this pigeon. He puts it in a little thing, and he just throws it into the air. And it flies off.
Cool.
South.
Lovely. I hope that's going to the Chamberlain, because then he knows that we're on our way to the rest thing there. So we'll probably see in a couple of hours once we find out bits and pieces. Not yet.
Okay, so go back, presumably you're going to stay overnight and maybe trek down tomorrow morning. Yeah. Okay, so we well, actually, I won't just pause it there, but that's where we'll call it.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk? Anything you want to talk about?
Great rolls other than that last one.
Was it?
Then it wasn't 18. So,
yeah.
Okay. So lots and lots of kind of additional kind of storylines and kind of potential quest lines and stuff like that. So that's really fun.
Not a single shot fired or sword stroked again this session.
For real. But then equally, I think
as long as you're not missing it, I'm just curious.
I don't think so. I think I'm kind of enjoying kind of. I think in some ways trying to word questions and kind of get information, which happened on the first one as well. To be fair,
this is more of a puzzle so far, right?
Yeah, definitely, and just little bits just falling into place is quite nice. Just for a few bits and pieces, and then suddenly kind of go back to. I think making notes has just been super important on the thing there. So I don't know whether people might feel that that's cheating.
No.
Whether people would remember things, at a later date after they've been doing various bits and pieces.
I think your guys are. I think your characters would remember more than you do because they're living it. You're like
for real. They're asking actual questions
I don't think...
and bits and pieces there. So the stuff about the sisters and the dragon kind of suddenly kind of just hit for me. I was like, when the times kind of worked and stuff there. So that's kind of what took me down that little pathway. And then obviously finding out about the rock cat, stone cat mushrooms.
Yeah.
Then thing for the mother and father as well.
That gold was worth spending, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's added an awful lot to this thing. So especially normally adventurers being quite so tight-fisted as well for stuff there. So I think we're lucky that we got quite so much gold and stuff.
Well, this is interesting. In a campaign, like, would you be more frugal? Like, this is like a bit of a one-shot. I think.
Well, I think given that they've got 5,000 each, and they already had 1,000 and a bit from the Manticore as well. So we're already fairly golden. And then for me, for like second or third level characters and stuff,
it's pretty good.
That's huge amounts, isn't it? Really. So,
I mean, I know some guys, when they do this XP for gold, you get XP for gold.
For real.
But often the way they do it is that a lot of people say it doesn't count till you spend the gold. They kind of encourage you. So we spend on training and stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
So
that's cool.
you know, you don't really get it unless you're like investing it in yourself or something, because otherwise you just got a big pile of gold. And also then the adventurers have all this money, and then why do they go adventuring?
They don't do anything.
The training is a way of using up gold, but I think in this way, spending money for information, I think feels like a valuable.
So they're all 5th level now.
That's a good question. We could consider what level that. No. I mean, I haven't really thought about their levels, but in theory,
they've done nothing. They've done some kind of.
Actually, they should be a reward for sleuthing, right? So this is why gold for XP makes sense, because if it's just about killing things, then you're better off if you can defeat the monster and get all his gold without killing him. That's got to be worth at least the same XP as killing it, because you getting what you want. Now, I think you should get extra XP for killing the beast, because that's the extra thing. But I think actually outwitting and figuring out what's going on should count too.
Do you mean a masterful operation, quasi successfully done?
You mean when you webbed yourself against a mushroom and it fell down and clonked its head? Didn't you shoot yourself as well? I can't even remember. Oh, that was with
I webbed myself. Yeah. So yeah. But no. So I think obviously I think there's been some distraction with other bits and pieces.
But they're fun, right?
Just they are fun. Absolutely, they're very very fun. And then there is plenty of stuff there. I think that's the key for all of these things, is having those other options of not just having you can only go down this route.
So you got the thread of the beast hunt, which you're following because it's time limited.
Yeah.
You know about the mound.
Yeah.
You think there's something going on there. You know about the halfling town.
Yeah.
And you know about the dragon potentially.
Yeah.
And actually, in theory, there's also the Copper Gate, right?
Yeah.
Where the orcs are. I mean, I'm not saying that's where you should go. I'm just saying there are some.
So there's plenty of and then there's just going off and wandering about and finding stuff anyway, isn't there? So and
there's the king and queen going on there, or ex-king and queen.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of kind of things and obviously the lichen hunters there as well. So and potentially if I wanted to, there was the beast collector. So kind of doing stuff for him as well if desperately wanted to.
Or if you found some blink squirrels, you might try to capture them.
Don't feed them. But again, that's where the cage could come in handy if you're looking for that stuff there as well. Although if they're blinking, maybe get out, that'd be worried. But anyways, so I think I'm really enjoying it. There's lots of.
Okay. Well, I don't normally do mysteries too much, but it's kind of a little bit of a mystery to solve, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, as I say, for all of these things, it is one of those things where I think now
I like the temptation. You're like, do I give him the belladonna now, or don't I?
Yeah.
Do I go into the tomb now? Yeah. But I've got to get through the thing. Do I go to Hafton? But the beast hunts tonight.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know, these temptations.
That's a good time time limited thing, and with all of these things as well. I think we've touched on this before, but I think now with it certainly started with Baldur's Gate and kind of classic games like that where you had the mission to go on, but most of the time doing the side missions, the side quests and stuff, didn't you? So and classically Fallout 4, I've done almost all the side quests to that and not actually finished the main quest.
Because the problem is if you do the main quest, the game's over, right? So you can't...
Yeah. And also sometimes the side quests are just that little bit of relief and kind of shorter ones and stuff there.
Yeah.
So actually, I think having all of those extra options is just, and it also gives you, as you say, that kind of thing of, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Or can I incorporate a whole load of things into one thing and things? And that was kind of what I was trying to do with the lichen hunters just to kind of go, right, guys, I think you're on the wrong. I
Try to steer them.
think you're on the wrong thing here. I could be wrong. I don't. Obviously, there might be people just screaming at us, kind of going, "No, go away!" But
you're hoping to steer them on the right path.
Yeah, and also, I mean,
so the manticore. You sort of, it sounds like you think the manticore was desperate enough to tell the truth about what he thought about about.
I mean, it seemed fairly. I mean, unfortunately, it seemed fairly pathetic. So whether it was possibly. I mean, even if that isn't the truth, it then means that the manticore's then been killing stuff and chucking it in the human thing stuff there. So either way, I've got no sympathy for the manticore. It chopped up a few adventurers, although you could argue again with all of these things.
Self-defense, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like the evil henchmen in Austin Powers that have got a family and not coming home to little Billy and stuff. So, but they are kind of intrinsically evil creatures, or normally intrinsically evil creatures that
sure,
for the betterment of everybody else need to kind of be got rid of.
Yeah,
so
well, there's that, isn't there?
I think also having your home right next to a really hot summoning circle. It's like having skulls all over your lapels and stuff going, are we the bad guys?
Yeah, well, I've just got a couple of bones in the back. Am I the bad guy? Yeah. I'm only self-defense, buddy.
So I think
See, it's kind of interesting. This adventure initially was the concept of it, which kind of, if you like, intrigued me, made me think of writing. It was actually watching Dragon Slayer.
You were wondering if I would work that out. That was what I thought.
So this idea of the Lord turning up and like doing in that case killing the already dead dragon and claiming like to be the great Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
This is all the same thing, but your adventures are complicit in helping him do it.
Yeah, which is
because I was trying to rub that in pretty hard, saying, thanks for helping me out, buddies. You're like really all about honour, and you're like,
yeah. Well, I think, I mean, we got paid, so who cares? So I guess and if that, I think as well for that, my kind of thought process on that is if it makes the peasantry of that kind of area kind of their lives a bit easier, then that's the main thing.
Well, that's true. The greater good, man. The greater good.
Yeah, for real. So
because they are currently disappearing. The manticore does somehow at least admitted being involved to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Even if he's apparently being forced against his will by the
ring,
by the halfling to do his bidding
with the ring. It's now. I don't have the real one, so
you don't have the real one.
There's another kind of little twist thing there that possibly is something there as well. So
interesting, yeah.
So, yeah, although there is, I guess, so like the whole thing, and it could just be propaganda on the part of their kind of their motto and the sword and other bits and pieces, but they seem to be against them previously, but whether they've then somehow been affected through part of the thing, and then
maybe they got infected fighting them, or maybe it's just coincidence, or maybe they are a gang of lycanthropes.
Yeah, for real. Who knows?
Who knows?
So yeah. So
although you think the full moon might trigger Lord Pauldron to turn to werewolf if he's a werewolf.
So if he is, then we'll have to deal with him.
Yeah, unless of course he's like taking some precautionary measures, of course.
Yeah. So if he's taking the skull cap. Stone cap.
Yeah, he could be masking his true identity.
Yeah. Could be. He kind of doesn't seem that he's. There's part of me that feels that someone would have slipped out. Unless he is that masterful, kind of lord of lies, as it were. So yeah. Yeah, no, really good. Really good.
Right, okay, I'm gonna pause there. Thank you, dude, for play testing and. Like I'm always self-conscious, always a little bit conscious when a sword isn't drawn that is something missing from the day. But
I think we've just stopped just before.
Yeah,
that's
true.
About to happen, haven't we? So,
and I think when the last adventure, you should have been in more fights, but just by sheer random chance it didn't happen. I could have mission focus. No, I just meant even just the random encounters you dodged. It's like bloody hell. They got a couple of mosquitoes which you swatted. But anyway, I could have just like said, "Sod, I'm going to give you an encounter," but I was going with it because I'm trying to play test it.
But we've done all of the dice rolls as they've come out. So there's been some really good ones, and then like the last one, the very last one, just being that thing.
Yeah, and pigeons flying off just somewhere, presumably reporting your weird activity.
Yeah.
Possibly good thing you didn't
take anything else. Yeah.
Take
absolutely.
anything from the.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't take the key in the end, did you?
No, we didn't. No.
So I guess if someone found the key missing and you're suspicious,
and that happening at the same time as well, then that's a definite red flag, isn't it? So,
All right, I'm gonna pause it there, dude.
Yep.